Puyo Puyo Tetris tournament.
It's going to be a fun time. I am that one guy, and I'm joined here by
Yoshi Krishma.
Hello, everybody.
What's up?
And as we said, this is going to be Puyo Puyo Tetris to kick off the tournaments here for Youmacon in the gaming room. It's going to be...
This room is like big, and this stage is so awesome.
It's a pretty big room. I'm very impressed by it. We've got all sorts of arcade cabinets behind me. We've got lots of like setups for games and casual setups for things.
Oh, yeah. And also Puyo.
And also Puyo Puyo Tetris. So up here, we've got Mags and Mr. Jackos coming in here. For those who don't know, this is going to be Puyo Puyo Tetris swap mode. That means that both players are going to have to go through both Tetris and Puyo stages of the game.
Yep.
And go ahead.
They got to balance like this swap mechanic. That's like really the main focus of this mode, which is so great. Usually in like versus mode, you would just pick one of them and just go as hard as you can. But in swap mode, it's a little bit more deep because like sometimes you might want to have to wait and not execute your combos right away. And you want to kind of explain like how the mechanics of that goes?
Yeah. So like in Puyo Puyo, a big mechanic, like the main way to deal damage is setting up these big chains that take a while to collapse on themselves. And in swap mode, that can work to your benefit because it allows you to wait until the last moment of the Puyo section and to then set off your chain, which will then start to accumulate all the garbage from Puyo Puyo. And as it swaps back into Tetris, it's going to actually send that garbage over to Tetris.
Yep.
And in Tetris, what you're able to do is you're able to do sort of a similar thing where you can set up for a piece to drop into a slot. And if you've got a chain or like a multi-line clear or anything set up, it'll allow for, if it's dropped as transition is happening, the garbage to go over into Puyo to interfere over in the Puyo section.
Yep. And looks like here, Max is actually kind of going for the damage straight away. You can see there's some trash stacked up. And here we got the Tetris switch.
We are, yep, we're going straight into a Tetris section. Looks like we've got Mags getting set up for a 4-wide going out.
He's building up that like really fast.
Yeah, he got the towers set up on the right and left side pretty quickly. And then Mr. Jackos looking like he's just trying to get standard just Tetris setup going.
Yep. He's building up to something on the Puyo side. Okay, 2.
He does have a 2.
3.
He's got the 3 coming.
Okay, 3. All right. He didn't decide to wait for the swap, though, so he's just trying to go right back.
That's not a bad strategy either, because that allows him to interfere with his opponent's Puyo section and cover up the fuses for their potential combos.
That's true, and you can see here now Mags has a bunch of trash in the middle of his Puyos, but we're swapping back to Tetris, and right away he clears that with the long block, and ooh, that looks...
We have a Tetris into a small combo coming out from Mr. Jackos. And it looks like
Mags is having a little trouble.
Mags had the 4-wide setup nice and clean, but now it looks like they may have misplaced something, and they've got to dig themselves into a better situation.
Yeah. He can make a comeback here in this Puyo. Let's see. He's going to go for a quick one chain. Yeah, he's got to clear that trash pretty quick, but you got to also like try to build up a combo at the same time to fight back, so it's pretty difficult.
Yep.
Okay, now, he's got a 2-chain going.
We have two chains back to back from Mags coming out. That's going to help cover up some of the things that Jacko had going in his Puyo section.
Yep.
And it looks like, ooh, we've got Mr. Jackos with the T-spin double. That's going to be a Tetris's worth of line clear. So that's going to send over 4 lines of garbage.
Yeah.
And that'll finish off Mags for that round.
That was a pretty good round. Max actually had a pretty good start with the Tetris build-up, but he just got that like misplacement, and that really, messed things up.
Yeah, the quick misplacement that Mags had just ended up into a very not nice-looking situation, and unfortunately, he just didn't have the time to dig himself out.
Yep.
But now we've got Mags. This is the second double.
Oh, 3-chain.
Or 2-chain combo. And Jacko actually firing back with the 4-chain with the transition to Tetris. So that as I said earlier, that puts the garbage over into the Tetris section.
Yep.
And what a lot of players will do when it comes to swap mode is they'll try to tank as much of the damage as they can in Tetris, just because it's easier to deal with from the Tetris side.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot easier to just clear them up quick in Tetris. And Puyo, it's a little bit harder because you got to think about how you want to stack them up.
Absolutely.
And let's see if Mags will try to go for something here to clear the trash, or he might try to stall, wait for it to switch back to the Tetris side and get something done there.
Looks like we're going for some quicker trash clear here.
Yep.
Which is not a bad strategy. Both players, I'm looking at the Tetris boards, they're still fairly clean. It looks like we've got a Z piece kind of in an awkward spot on Mag's section.
Yep.
But other than that, we had a 4-wide well building up.
Max got a 2-chain just now, swap combo right
Swap
now.
combo 2-chain. We got the T-spin single out from Mr. Jackos. Perhaps a slight misdrop, but doesn't look like it's too bad to clean up.
Yep.
Both players thinking very, very carefully about how they're going to set their pieces. They're trying to keep themselves from doing anything. And oh no, we had a T-spin double that was just stuffed out by the swap. It was going to come out from Mags.
Oh man. And yeah, Mr. Jackos, he can kind of just take his time with this. His board is looking a bit cleaner, but...
Yep, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain going to be coming out here from Mr. Jackos. Very well stacked, and it doesn't look like Mags had enough. So hopefully Mr. Jackos, or hopefully Mags is able to survive this, and not quite fast enough.
Yep.
If Mags had the T-piece sooner, they would have been able to deal with some of that trash coming from the Puyo side with a T-spin double, which again would have taken up. It would have canceled out at least 4 lines of garbage, which might have been enough to sustain and survive.
Yeah. And so actually, one thing I didn't know about the Tetris side. So when you got the trash coming to your side, I always thought that it was time-based, but it's actually like when you put the blocks down. So like, there's not a rush to put it down. You can kind of think about it.
Absolutely.
But then once you put it down, then the trash, goes down there. So.
The same thing actually goes for the Puyo. Once that garbage is waiting, it doesn't drop until your next piece drops. So after the chain is complete and all of the garbage is accumulated, your next piece dropped will be the one to cause the garbage to start falling. So you can, what a lot of players will do in the higher levels is as the opponent's chain is going off, they'll rush to build up as big a chain as they can with what they're given, and then set that off to offset as much of the garbage as possible.
Yep.
And, I mean, if you've got like a swap combo coming at you from Puyo to Tetris, you can kind of do the same thing there as well.
Yep. Okay, so
we have
like
yet
game
another Puyo start as well. That's actually 3 Puyo starts in a row. And I believe that the last game was just a clean 2 rounds from Mr. Jackos, correct?
Yep.
We've got the 3 chain coming out from Mags, just some quick harass that's going to cover up the, I believe that's Doorknob, but that might be GTR. Unfortunately, I don't know the proper names for Puyo starts.
Yeah, that's going to definitely like interrupt what he was doing there.
But what Mr. Jackos had started got covered up there by Mags' just quick 3-chain harass.
Yep.
And now we've abandoned the 4-wide strats on Mag's side, and we've actually got a T-spin double set up, as well as a Tetris if Mags so chooses.
And Max is building this up really fast. I've noticed he's a lot better at the Tetris part.
Yeah, absolutely. What I like about what Mags did was that it left themselves open for, as I said, like the opportunity for a T-spin double or the Tetris if the line piece came first. So it gave themselves options to still send the same amount of garbage. And as we're seeing here, that early harass is paying off because Mags is able to just kind of keep dumping small bits in, and it's stopping Mr. Jackos from being able to get anything going off here in Tetris. Or not Tetris, but Puyo Puyo.
Yeah. And okay, he's doing a pretty good job of clearing that trash right now. One thing interesting about getting trash in Tetris is that sometimes it can help you launch a bigger like counterattack. As long as you can clear the, as long as you can clear it. But looks like he's having a little bit of trouble. Max is not letting him up.
Not giving Mr. Jackos any room to move. So like you were saying, sometimes the garbage can actually be used to the player's benefit in Tetris, because the way that garbage works in Tetris is you can send it through either multi-line clears, so one piece clearing multiple lines, spins, which are a bit more technical, or you can just do line clear, like line clears in a row, which is just a combo. So like
and Mr.
right
Jack
there.
was going for a 3-swap combo.
Yep, right there. We just had a small little combo chain from Mr. Jacko's, and as each piece, as each line clear combo grows, the garbage sent over gets bigger.
Yep.
All right, so Mr. Jacko's has actually cleared out a lot of the garbage from his Puyo side, which is going to open himself up to actually start doing things over here.
Yeah, and Mags is doing... Okay, that wasn't quite a combo. I thought that might have been like a 4-chain, but...
We do
okay,
have a quick
3-chain, there we
3-chain,
go.
so that's going to start covering up Mr. Jacko's side again. And it looks like Tetris is not going as cleanly anymore for Mags.
Yeah. If he can just hold on for a little bit, he might be able to catch up, because Mr. Jacko's side is half filled as well. He's doing okay, actually.
Right as we were talking about the trouble, Mags started clearing out nice and clean. And we've got, we're almost down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's almost even now. Mr. Jacko's got a lot of trash on the Puyo side. Let's see if he can hold on here. He needs
Quick
a
little
red
2-chain.
or blue.
And unfortunately, that's going to cover up that X.
No, Mag just going there for the quick 1-chains to finish him off.
Mags opting for the quicker harass strategies in Puyo Puyo rather than trying to trip themselves up with going for bigger things and just keeping it nice and clean and simple.
Yeah, and one thing newer players really need to do, you can watch the opponent's screen, and you know that really helps you decide when to launch trash, because it's not always just about you building up your own combos. It's trying to mess up their combos.
Absolutely,
So.
absolutely. This is one of those games where screen peeking is actually encouraged for higher level play because it helps educate your decisions.
And it's what makes this such a good competitive game. Okay, was that? Okay, that looks like it might have been a misclick by Mags.
I'm not so sure because we've actually got not quite a T-spin double, but a T-spin single setup.
Oh, okay.
I think it might have just been a fast way to set up that T-spin. Oh, it's not quite a T-spin single actually because I missed one of the openings on the second layer. It looked like it was actually mostly on purpose, just with a slight miscalculation somewhere.
And Mr. Jacko's, once again, having a lot of trash on his side. There's 8 seconds left until the switch. Let's see if he can hold on. Okay, he's going to get that trash on this side. Okay, he's got to make something happen in Tetris because he doesn't have much left on the Puyo side. So he's got to build up something as a defense.
I'm looking at Mr. Jacko's Tetris board right now, and it looks like Mr. Jacko actually had the start of what would have been a DT cannon setup.
Ooh.
So what that does is if it had gone as planned, that would have allowed Mr. Jacko's to set up for a T-spin triple immediately into a T-spin double, which gives you back-to-back bonus as well as the 6 lines from triple and the 4 lines from double.
Okay, Mr. Jacko's, he needs a green. There it is, green. Okay, he doesn't link it with the blue though. That could have been a 2-chain,
but we do have a 3-chain coming out here from Mags, and that's going to, if we can hold out till Tetris, which we do, that's going to swap over here, and that gives Mr. Jacko's another chance to continue living and fighting out in this round.
Yeah, and Max is doing a lot better in this round. Mr. Jacko's, seems like he might have been trying to set up something there, but he just got to kind of clear this Tetris quickly.
Looks like we're setting up to just kind of get something going on here. Pieces aren't quite cooperating the way that Mr. Jacko would like.
This looks like the same with Mags, too, actually. Their Tetris boards are looking a bit messy, so...
I'm looking at what Mags has going on here or not Mags, but Mr. Jacko's in Puyo Puyo, and I'm actually...
Yeah, he could get a big chain, actually, if he gets the right piece.
I'm catching a bit of greed here, almost. Okay. Which is admirable because if you can get away with greed in Puyo Puyo, it pays off.
Oh yeah,
tremendously.
Yeah, Puyo's all about the combos, and Mag is gonna take that round 2-0. So
that is a 1-1. Both players in the games that they won taking both rounds. And now we've
Game
actually
3.
finally got a Tetris start.
Yeah,
so
this
let's
is
see if
intense.
these players play it a little bit differently.
Looks like Mags. Is he going to do a 4 wide again? He might,
That's
yeah.
actually a perfect clear setup coming out from Mags. Mags is fishing for the perfect clear, but with that line piece, that might have actually been the misdrop, unless if we're trying to... Okay, we're transitioning actually into the T-spin double. I like it. Maybe saw that they weren't quite going to get the perfect clear that they wanted,
there
so
it
they
is.
just went for the faster T-spin double.
Yeah, Mags is definitely adapting really fast. Let's see.
All right, we've got doorknob setups coming out. You know, I don't know if this is doorknob or GTR.
I'm not sure.
But Mr. Jackos has started like this just about every time. And then we just had a quick little two-chain come out from Mags again.
I think that's GTR.
It's either GTR or doorknob. One of those two. I wish I knew actual Puyo terminology a little bit better. I can play the game, I just don't know the terms.
Yeah, I remember there was like this huge guide about GTR, so that's why I think it is, because I don't know what doorknob is, unless if it looks similar.
I just know that I've heard doorknob, but I'm pretty sure that that is GTR.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely more standard.
All right, we do have a T-spin double on the ready for Mags, but we're getting a little close to the top, but that T-piece is coming up. Unfortunately, the swap is actually going to eat that T-piece.
Yeah,
that's
looks
very
like he
unfortunate.
wasn't able to get that quite in time. He was trying to stack that square in a decent place, but maybe he should have just went straight for the T-spin.
That's okay, though, because Mags has the quick 3-chain coming out to just kind of poke more at Mr. Jackos, put the pressure on.
Yeah, and there's a 2-chain.
Oh, Mr. Jackos actually made use of quick little single chains to delay the garbage drop, and was able to switch over into their starting chain that they had set up, which looked like it gave them a 2 swap combo. And that added pressure onto Mr. Jackos here, or not Mr. Jackos, but Mags and Tetris, where it looks like they're kind of struggling a little bit now.
Oh no, was that a misplace? Okay.
That might have been.
This is intense. They're definitely nervous. This is game 3, and okay.
It's game 3, but it is round 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Mr. Jackos has actually dug out of all of the garbage that Mags had sent over earlier with that smaller harass. And now both players has a fairly clean, fairly fresh Puyo board. But I gotta say, this Tetris board looks a lot cleaner for Mr. Jackos than it does for Mags.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Mags, I can believe he can make this comeback. Let's see.
Just needs to
slowly.
think very, very carefully, maybe not slowly.
Oh no. Yeah, I was gonna say he could take his time because like Mr. Jackos, he didn't have anything ready like on the Tetris board, but
Yeah,
that misplacement again just
not
cost him.
quite ready with a whole lot to send over, but you do want to start digging down into the cleaner board and safer board as soon as you can.
Yeah.
So we do have what looks to be, this is probably just
Going for
setting up
something
into
a
a
little
quick
different.
T-spin double on Mag's side. Mr. Jackos looks like he might be just setting up to try to go for a Tetris.
Yeah.
Just to try to play the basics, keep it simple.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, Max is definitely a little bit nervous, I think. Looks like he misplaced 2 blocks there.
I think so, because it looks like that,
the orange one.
the orange
yeah.
one, the L piece.
Or he might not be used to the controller. That's a big thing. Like,
That's
whenever I
also
play.
possible, but it looks like that L piece was definitely supposed to fit rotated, which would have been a big help. But that's okay, though, because we're back into Puyo, where it seems like Mags isn't doing isn't making as many mistakes. Seems like Mags is a bit more comfortable there. We do have the T-spin double coming over. That's going to send over garbage to Mr. Jackos. Mr. Jackos is going to still working up to that Tetris. We have the line piece there, not quite Tetris ready. We're going to hold it. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going.
Yep. Okay, Max just going for the quick 1-chains again. I don't think I've really seen him try to build up to like a bigger Puyo combo. Do you think that's part of his strategy, or you know?
I think it actually is, because we've seen Mag's early game transition into just quick 3-4 chains, which are pretty easy to build, very simple, very beginner friendly,
right there.
And it pays off and it helps because it puts an immediate halt to what your opponent is trying to set up. and forces your opponent to start adapting. And if you're quick enough with those 3 and 4 chains, you can keep those going and keep those going. And it just kind of slowly suffocates your opponent.
Right there, again, a misplacement with a long block. It looks like he almost could have had a double T-spin somewhere in there, but
there was a T-spin double set up. It got a little stuffed up, a little clogged, and unfortunately covered by other pieces.
Yeah.
So that is Mr. Jackos taking round 1, taking the set.
Yeah, taking the set.
Taking the first set of our streamed session of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah, that was a good fight by both players. I really like that. That was really intense for just the first round of the tournament.
Very even leveled between the two players as well. I like to see even matches with these puzzle games, just because you get to see both players start to work around each other. And speaking of players, I don't know much about Bonanzas, but I do know Rockdan. And Rockdan has a very steady, very calculated Tetris. He likes to stick with more traditional gameplay, so he doesn't do a whole lot of fancy things, but he is very good at just steadily building up for Tetrises and line clear combos and just keeping himself busy and keeping pressure.
Can Bonanza use your controller?
Absolutely, yes. It might be in my bag.
Do you know what region they're from?
I know Rockdan. Actually, Rockdan. Yeah, Rockdan's from Michigan. I know that much. I do not, like I said, I don't know anything about Bonanzas. But I'm curious. Like I said, I do know Rockdan. I've played him in Tetris a few times. I played him at I don't know how his Puyo Puyo is. I've actually played him in Puyo Puyo Tetris as well, but that was a few years ago.
Online or in person?
In person at Frosty Faustings.
Frosty Faustings, okay.
That was an interesting year. That was actually one of my first years that I started getting more into puzzle games competitively.
Yeah, like before Puyo Puyo Tetris came out, I didn't really know too much about it. Like I knew about like the reskins, like Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which has like really epic music, by the way. But once I got my hands on Puyo Puyo Tetris and learned about it, I was just like, this is actually so deep and competitive because like there's so many different strategies, and it's just great. And also another thing that I really love, like there's no time limit in swap mode, so it's just like if it's an even match, it can just go on and on and on, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like the longer it gets, the more intense it is, and I just love that.
Yeah. So about that, like you said, like even matches are really hype to watch, and whether it's an even match between two like beginner level players, 2 mid-level players, and that's where you start to see the longer games go on.
Yeah.
But then once you get to the high level where you have 2 just really good players at both of them, they're very explosive matches.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You see these ridiculous Puyo chains get set up, and then you see the Tetris blocks the Tetraminos just drop.
Yeah, their boards are just getting cleared 1 second, and the next second it's like full. It's so hard to tell what's going on.
It is insane.
But here we are. It's game 1.
All right.
Okay, button check.
This may be a button check.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It seems like it might be.
All right, seems like both these players are pretty experienced. They're stacking them up pretty fast there.
It was, in fact, a button check. I saw Rockdan look over and at least mouth the words button check.
Oh, dang, they don't have all the characters.
That could be fixed. There is a cheat code to unlock all of them.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody cares for that, but there is a cheat code for it.
Yeah, pick your main. All right.
All right, so
Starting
we have
with Puyo.
Bonanzas on the left, and we have Rockdan on the right. I believe Rockdan favors Tetris over Puyo Puyo, and based on what we saw from the button check, if Bonanzas was in the same spot as before, I'm gonna guess that Bonanzas might favor Tetris over Puyo Puyo as well. But so right away, Bonanzas is getting just a very quick setup going. We're going into maybe a 2-wide on the left, maybe just setting up for fast Tetris. Rockdan just keeping steady as he goes, and he's just making sure that he is able to keep himself clean. He doesn't have any holes, doesn't have anything going on.
Yeah. Trying to clear that as quick as possible. He's got a little of those little empty blocks in there. He's got 1 swap combo so far. Let's see if he's just going to try to build up for something, but nope, he's going to go for some quick harass, build up to a 2-swap combo.
Had a quick little 2-chain come out from Rockdan, but Bonanzas had a small little swap combo which canceled out some of the garbage.
Yeah.
Another quick little 2-3 chain?
All right.
3 chain.
Trying to clear up the trash, but it's going to drop on the Puyo side. Oof. Yeah, he was just about to get the yellows in there, but that trash really blocked their ways. So.
Okay, so we're almost Tetris ready, but we're going to opt to cover that up. Not cover it up, let's start clearing it out.
And Bonanza's clearing up their Tetris side almost fully now. And Rockdan, let's see what they got.
Rockdan moving steady as he do.
And Bananas just built that up so quickly. That might have been a misplacement there with the purple, but they can clear that
yeah,
up
the
later.
T-piece might be a slight misplacement, but if she plays her cards right, that shouldn't be too awful to clean up and get herself back to a nice, clean digging position.
Yeah, with Tetris, it's just so fast. Misinputs are going to be part of the game, and it's going to be a big part is how you're just going to adapt to it. Just keep going.
Absolutely.
Keep your mindset going. Don't get tilted.
Absolutely. Misdrops can happen very easily, especially once you start moving quickly like these players are doing.
And both of them got a 3-swap combo, so that's going to cancel each other out. Well played.
They went trade for trade. I like it. I wasn't paying attention enough to see if it was awareness from somebody, but they both set their stuff off. We've got some pop-offs going off behind me in the crowd here for Bonanzas.
Oh, this is such a close match on both boards right now.
Quick 2-chain from Rockdan to come out. Another important thing to note for those who aren't super familiar with Puyo Puyo. So your Puyo's pop, once you stack 4 of the same color to touch each other, you can get more than 4 touching, and I think it sends over a very small amount more garbage, but your main focus in Puyo Puyo should always be to stack for bigger chains rather than more pieces popping at once.
Right, that's definitely how you take the most out of Puyo. Tetris, you know, it leans more towards like getting fast combos. You don't have to stack them up, you can, but Puyo, you definitely get a lot more just waiting for the bigger combos.
All right, both players in the Puyo board looking fairly clean, able to set themselves up for a lot of different things. We've got Rockdan looking to get a quick 2, maybe 3 chain set up. It's going to be a little wacky, but he's working on it.
Yeah.
Not able to find a purple, so he just goes for the 2-chain.
All right, back to Tetris.
We're going back into Tetris here. Rockdan's starting to look a little shaky. And meanwhile, Bonanza's is very clean. The only holes that she has are just on top of the garbage, which she can easily maneuver around.
Oh, she can fill that in now.
Yep.
Okay.
Rockdan's coming close to the top here, and he does actually have some holes down in the bottom. So once he gets back over to Tetris, if he gets back over to Tetris, which he probably will, he's going to have to think quickly and carefully.
Yeah, for sure. It would be a good idea to take some time now to plan ahead while he's in this Puyo stage.
He is going to have a quick little 2-chain coming out.
All right. Gonna throw some trash in to help even it out a lot more.
He's not quite, Rockdan's not quite able to get the ideal pieces, but it looks like he's starting to slowly dig his way out.
Yep. Oh no, okay. Because that works.
Okay.
Oh, 3 seconds.
Okay, Rockdan does have himself in a position to start cleaning things up.
Wow.
So if he gets back into a Tetris zone, he's going to be able to start digging out of his garbage again, which will be crucial for him.
And Rockdan's building up a Puyo combo, so if he decides to unleash that, he could win right away, because Bonanza's Tetris floor is starting to fill up quite a lot. Okay, he's going to go for it? No,
he's got a quick little 2-chain, maybe.
Oh, there it is, actually.
Yeah, quick little 2-chain. And that L piece is not going to be ideal for him.
Yeah.
He's going steady, though.
Oh.
And Rockdan able to hold out very carefully, very calmly. I got to say, Rockdan, anytime that I've seen him play, he's been very calm and collected with how he does things, and he doesn't let pressure situations like that scare him. And ooh, we actually had an all-clear start, and neither player opted to take it. That's not always a bad thing, but it's interesting to see, just because having that all-clear on deck, the way that Puyo works is that when you get an all-clear, the garbage bonus from the all-clear doesn't come in until the next chain.
Oh.
Whereas in Tetris, if you get the all-clear, it comes out right away.
Interesting.
So it's interesting to see that both players opted to not go for the all-clear. And
oh, he's Joshua. That's J-O-S-A.
Oh.
It's Joshua, Joshawott. Yeah.
That was my bad.
Oh, no
I thought
problem.
he'd still be able to hear you after I pressed that. I didn't think about that.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, so back to the game. We had something starting on Rockdan's side, and he still has things going on, but it looks like he's just kind of opting to clear him out with one chains.
Uh-huh. Yeah, neither of them building up to something that big right now.
Looks
Okay.
like Bananazers has the name.
Oh, it's Bananazers. Okay.
Bananazers. Okay.
I was like, wait, did it change?
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, no problem.
I just looked up again and I was like, huh, that looks different than before.
Bananazers.
Okay, Rockdan, he's got he's got a quick little 2-chain setup if he wants it. If he gets a red in there somewhere, he could get a 3-chain. He's kind of building for diversity right now, which
He's got options.
is smart. And at the same time, it looks like he's just taking his opportunities with these 2 chains.
Yeah.
To just quickly clean up.
And that trash is going to block those green pieces from connecting on Bananazer's side.
And it looks like Bananazers has actually calmed down and regained her focus in Tetris.
Yep.
Everything's looking clear. We've got a Tetris coming out. And it looks like she's maybe taking her time a bit more. We've got a few small misdrops, but honestly, those are not game enders by any means.
Yeah, for sure.
Just careful gameplay will clean those up.
And like you said, Rockdan just taking his time, like carefully placing those pieces. And there is a 2-chain. Okay. So once again, he's just going to keep up this harassment like now and then. Once again, screwing up Bananazers' side of the Puyo.
All right, we're transitioned back over into Tetris here. Rockdan's just working with what he's got.
Ooh, and that
making his way through. Not all pieces. The way the Rockdan plays, not all pieces are going to make a clean board.
Yeah.
But because he plays so carefully, he at least knows how to deal with what he's given. Meanwhile, Bananazers has actually worked her way out of the misdrops that she had. She's in a much better position, and given what she's got right now, looking at her Tetris board, she doesn't really have any holes because she could get a crazy J-spin out in there. Those are things.
She cleared up her board pretty fast that last round. But what's a J-spin?
So a J-spin is she's got that blue piece. Okay, she just used it, but she could have actually shoved that blue piece into the hole that it was.
Oh yeah, that's like one of those really weird rotations.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it works, but
it's a weird rotation where a piece just kind of goes into places and you go, whoa, it can do that. She opted not to go for it, but it's okay because she set herself up into a better position to get a Tetris out. And meanwhile, we're back into Puyo. Rockdan's, he had things set up, and now it looks like he's getting to a point where he's got been given maybe too many pieces, and
he's got the trash to worry about.
He's looking a little less clean all of a sudden. Meanwhile, we've got Bananazers just keeping steady, trying to just get rid of the Puyos, and probably just transition into Tetris whenever she can.
Yep. And Bananazers is going to want to try to clear that Tetris as soon as possible to get to that that long area.
We just had a dirty Tetris come out, and we're actually back into an open well for the next line
Is she going to make it? Oh, she is right there. She got it right in time.
A big Tetris for a swap combo to send that garbage over to Rockdan's side, and that's going to be really bad because now Rockdan has no space to build anything. He's trying to hold out, but he just doesn't quite have the stall tech.
That was the second round. So actually, it was really interesting there. Bananazers, she didn't hold on and let the long block fall, so it wasn't a swap combo, but I guess it didn't matter. She just wanted that damage right away because she saw on Rockdan's side that his Puyo side was going to fill up, so she just went straight for it.
It was close enough to transition time where it didn't really matter when the piece went, because even if she held out, that line piece, so long as it was over that hole, would have fallen down and gotten the thing. The garbage went to Puyo no matter what, which was huge for her.
I see.
Unless, of course, if she got the Tetris and then Rockdan placed a piece before it went over, but that's...
It looks like she had the awareness to know.
Yeah, that's some higher level crazy stuff.
And that was a really long round, too. This is still the first game, right?
Yeah, this is still game one. I mean, it comes down to the even playing field between these two players.
Oh yeah, and these two players are very even so far.
They're both very close in skill level, so these games are a back and forth, a very constant back and forth.
Yep. And there's a 2-swap combo. Bananazers kind of plays the pieces as fast as possible.
Bananazers is feeling some pressure here from Rockdan, and Rockdan's almost got a Tetris set up, and there's that line piece
She's
coming in.
Back.
That Tetris came out. Bananazers not quite able to hold out.
Yeah.
If she didn't get the J piece and got something maybe a little bit thinner, she may not have topped out to that.
Yeah.
But she was in not a great position after that last Tetris.
Yeah. She could have tried delaying for the Puyo, but she knew she didn't have too much build up there, so she just kind of went for it. She knew what her odds were. Didn't work out. That's just how it is.
All right, Rockdan has a small little kind of stair setup going with the blues and the reds. Now he's just working his way to getting that purple over there so that he can do that.
Okay.
Maybe? All right, he's going to just get a little two-chain with a bonus.
So the interesting thing with Puyo is that it doesn't matter how many pieces you clear in one chain, it's about how many chains you get. So, you know, you can clear up more pieces, but you kind of waste the potential sometimes because you want to use every piece to, you know, become a next step in the chain.
Right. So like we saw that with Rockdan where his first piece that he dropped set off 2 different colors of Puyos, but because it was still considered a 1-chain for each, and then only one of them transitioned into a 2-chain, he got like the 2-chain with like a little 1-chain bonus.
Yeah.
And that was about it. So even though he had 3 different sets of Puyo's pop, he only got at most the 2 plus a small little bonus. And I believe 1-chains only send over 1 small piece of garbage, which can be enough to harass just well, or just enough if it blocks off like the main trigger.
If you have good awareness, you can just time that right when they're about to finish the combo. I love this PPP character. Its voice is so good.
Ah, Carbuncle. I don't know if I agree with that statement, but
it's cute.
I can see why people like Carbuncle, but I don't know.
It's annoying when you're the one playing, I think.
I think when you're on the receiving end of somebody just PPP, PPP. And I think that's what's got under my skin with that character. I don't hate the character. I think he's adorable as a character, but poof. I have bad memories of that character. All right. We've got a quick little swap combo, 1-chain with the
and Rockdan's got that area opened up now. He needs the long piece. Okay, he's gonna clear that up. All right. That works.
And then we've got Bananazers getting herself opened up for a Tetris. Not quite there.
Almost.
Now, what's interesting here is that we've actually got the beginning of a 4-wide setup on Bananazers' side, and I don't know if she knows that or not. So if she just starts stacking, you see where the second... Well, okay. She wants to keep the left side open. But if you see the top 2 parts of the S piece, which is the green one, if she stacks everything to the right of that, and on top of those, she'll have the 4-wide setup going.
Interesting.
But it looks like she either doesn't like the 4-wides or she doesn't quite know them. So instead, she's going to start building into just a Tetris setup, which is perfectly acceptable.
Yep. It's a little misplacement of the S block, looks like.
Rockdan given the grace of a line piece when he had a Tetris open.
And Rockdan has a slight lead on Tetris for a few seconds there, but Bananas is not going to let him have that. So both of them have such an even board on both sides once again. Let's see. Okay, it's going to go for a 2-chain.
Yeah, Bananazers with a little bit more garbage to deal with on the Puyo side.
Yeah, she didn't quite have anything there to counter with that.
Quick little 1-chain, clear out some of the garbage. She's got herself kind of in a bad position in Puyo Puyo.
It's looking a little bit difficult.
But her Tetris is looking A-okay. That misdrop's not anything to worry about. She just needs to focus, keep clear, make smart decisions.
And just like that, it's looking really clean again.
Yeah, just like that, she's almost got a Tetris out of it. Looks like she's going to go for the triple line clear.
She's almost got access to that little pocket of the trash down there, too. Okay, she's got to place her pieces really well. Okay, she's going to try to clear the trash up really quick, actually.
Yeah, it looks like she's going for a dig and not trying to get greedy here. Rockdan doesn't really have anything open at the moment. He has things set up, but they're all covered by the very small amount of garbage that's been sent over.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We do have a quick little 3-chain. Nope, no. 2-chain, sorry. 2-chain coming out.
We've got swap combo as well.
Another fun thing about swap combos, actually, is that if you have a Puyo chain going off, and then you start also doing Tetris things while that Puyo chain is going off, that adds to the swap combo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does that extend the time in which you can continue the combo?
Sort of. So, like, once the Puyos are done popping, if you have enough Tetraminos and, like, lines to keep going, I think it keeps going and stacking on. It's interesting. I'm not actually sure on that.
There's a lot to think about.
There's a lot of depth once you add, like, after, like, between the two games, there's, you know, the depth within the games themselves, and then you smash the two together, and then you've got the mechanics of the games working together, and it just adds a lot more. This game is actually really cool.
There's like, it's a lot about timing, but also like planning and also multitasking, because while you're playing Puyo, you don't want to only focus on that. You have to focus on your opponent's board, and you have to focus on the other game as well, and try to think ahead sometimes. So you have to really manage like what exactly you're thinking about every second while you play.
Yep. And then, like, once you start getting a feel for your opponent, you want to think about what starter they're doing, what they're going with, what you can do to deal with that starter and interrupt it. Like, you know, if you're...
Oh, Tetris.
Like, say you're against a Tetris player and you think that they're going to go for perfect clears. You want to do something very quickly to give them garbage so that they just have no chance of getting that perfect clear at all.
Yeah. And you got to be really attentive to spot that so you can launch an attack right away.
And, like, in Puyo Puyo, I mean, we saw Mags doing this. Mags had the awareness to see that Mr. Jackos was going for longer Puyo setups. So Mags said, I'm going to go for quick little 3 and 4 chains to harass, because that's going to cover up what Mr. Jackos is trying to do. There's a lot of depth to this game and how to play.
Okay, Rockdan's got a 3-chain right now. Let's see if they're going to do a swap combo.
Quick little 3-chain.
Okay.
Again, we had the beginnings of what could have turned into a 4-wide on the right side, but instead we opted to just go for building into a big Tetris well. Very respectable. Rockdan trying to keep himself into a clear board, working his way to the garbage. He's got that big garbage hole for the Tetris. Kept that line piece nice and handy. All right, we had a quick little swap combo come over, actually, from from Bananazers.
Yep.
So that's going to send over just a little bit of garbage over to Rockdan.
Yeah, Rockdan did have that 1 chain ready, so lessen the blow of that a little bit. Okay, let's see what they're trying to do. Okay. Rockdan's almost got access to that pocket again.
Yep, he's slowly working his way down to the pocket. Man, I really wish Rockdan would play with T-spin doubles. I wish Rockdan would play with T-spins.
Okay, Bananazers, a Tetris once again, and both of them cleared up almost their entire Tetris board. So, oh no, that trash. That's going to make things difficult, because now Rockdan doesn't have access to any of those lower Puyos. He's got to just clear them up as soon as possible, and that gives Bananazers more time to build up to a combo, just keep that lead, and just keep planning ahead.
Rockdan's going to have to work his way very carefully through this Puyo board. If he gets a purple, he can get a quick little 2-chain. But they did not look like the Puyo gods were smiling upon him.
Rockdan does... He did kind of place his pieces pretty nicely. He's got the middle section still open, because that's where you want to have more space, or else you'll just die.
Absolutely. So that's... You bring up a very important thing. The only way to die in Puyo is to get that red X covered. That is the only way that you die. Until then, you can stall out as much as you can possibly try.
Yep. Okay, it's going for this quick 1
missing the opportunity for the 2-chain.
Uh-oh. And now he can't access those reds anymore. Oh, no.
Okay, he's got the purple, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he's got the purple.
He's got red.
He got that little 2-chain going off. He's got to carefully navigate through this.
Okay. Slowly coming back. Alright. Okay, they're just both going for these really quick clears on the Tetris side. I think that's a really good strategy by Bananazers, actually, because she just needs to keep her board clean, because she's doing so much better on the Puyo side, so she doesn't have to go for anything too greedy.
At the moment, she's got a much cleaner looking Puyo side. And so if she can even carry some of that Tetris harass over from Puyo, or into Puyo, that would be really good for her and really bad for Rockdan. But it looks like Rockdan's starting to get that left side opened up. He actually has very little garbage.
It's almost even up now. Rockdan has a lot more resources there because he's getting access to those bottom pieces now.
Yep.
Bananas is just blocked by so much trash. Okay, Bananas is starting to build a slight lead in the Tetris side. She knows that she's got to start building this lead up fast because her Puyo is not in the best shape right now.
She has a lot more garbage on the Puyo side than she does actual pieces, so a lot less resources to work with. And Rockdan's, like you said, he's getting access to all the things that he had now.
Oh, and that trash. Right there when you think that Rockdan might be able to get a really good lead, that trash is going to interrupt him.
It's not going to be good.
Now it's getting really close to even. Are they even going to last? 3 more seconds. Bananas is probably going to want to stall. Okay.
Oh, Rockdan had a quick opportunity to get something going off on Puyo, but it looks like he might have over-rotated a little bit. And now Rockdan is making use of all this Tetris garbage that he has. And Bananazers,
This might be the last round for Bananazers. She's got to win this round right now. It's game 2.
Yep. She worked away her fuel for Tetris. So now,
oh no. There's the trash right there.
Oh no, we got over to the Puyo side.
And Rockdan's going to take it 2-0. That was a really close series though, even though it was a 2-0.
It was, you know, we Michigan Pokken players, not to plug Michigan Pokken, but we have a fun saying. It was a 2-0, but it was a close 2-0.
Yeah.
We love to say that. And this was a very close 2-0. Very evenly matched players. Just Rockdan able to hold out just a little bit longer in the games that he was able to take.
They were very close up until like the very end. Like Rockdan had so much trash on his Puyo side at the end there, but you know, Bananas was never able to really deliver the final blow. Rockdan just kept that center area open all times.
That's exactly what happened there. Is that Bananazers just didn't find the opportunity to deliver the killing blow to Rockdan, and Rockdan just sturdied up.
He had a really good defense. You know, he was in a disadvantage for most of the time, but he just wasn't too worried. Just kept at it. That's one thing too. Like usually when your board fills up, you might start panicking. But if your opponent's never going for those like bigger combos, then you don't really have anything to worry about. You can take your time. You can either try to clear the trash slowly one by one, or you can also just take advantage of your opponent not trying to build up to something big and try to build up something big yourself, because that's going to catch them off guard, and they're not going to have anything to do with that because they don't have anything to counterattack with. And that's the thing with like when you try to clear your board up cleanly, you won't always have like the resources you need when you need them later. So sometimes you do want more stuff on your board. So there's just so much to think about.
Absolutely. And even like if your opponent is sending just smaller bits of garbage in Puyo Puyo, if it's just smaller pieces, they can be annoying and they can get in the way, but it still gives you so much more board space to work around and deal with and even set up and potentially use those bits of garbage for your advantage.
Yeah.
Because if you've only got like one layer, you can set that up real nicely for, you know, just a quick little, hey, I'll turn this into a 2-chain somewhere. I'll turn this into, you know, just an addition to my combo almost.
Exactly.
It looks like we're actually going to have Rockdan continuing to stay on stage.
Okay.
And joined by a person who I'm not familiar with.
So I assume that every match is being played on stream then? This is round 2? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is round 2. Let's see. Ooh, I love Rulu. All right, they're going to go right into it. Starting in Puyo.
Gracidia. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So right away I'm noticing that Gracidia is starting out very quickly with Puyo Puyo, which is going to be a challenge for Rockdan.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rockdan is not the quick. He's very steady and very clean, but speed could be a killing factor here.
Gracidia's got something really big built up.
Oh, okay. So
almost.
I see what Gracidia is kind of setting up here. It's referred to as Hellfire strats, where you set up a bigger chain on one side while keeping a smaller chain on the ready on the other side
That's
for
like what
defense.
the computers do, don't they? They all stack it up on the left.
So we call it like Hellfire strats, where you can set off your smaller 3-4 chains to kind of harass and stuff out your opponent from playing the game, and build up your bigger chain. And now we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow! Right away.
Maybe 7. No. Okay, there was a piece missing somewhere that I thought was available.
Okay, Rockdan, he's got to think of something. He has nothing to fight back with. He's almost done.
No,
and that
Rockdan is going to be killed out there. Topped out from the Puyo.
So he's got to adapt. Gracidia is really strong on the Puyo, as we saw right there.
Now we do have a Tetris start here, which could be a lot better for Rockdan, depending on what Gracidia gets going on. But okay, I was seeing what could have turned into a 4-wide. We didn't quite get it, but we are going to get a quick little T-spin single. Rockdan looked like he got at least a Tetris going out, because I believe I saw 4 lines of garbage canceled out a little bit by the T-spin single. And knowing Rockdan, I don't think he did a T-spin.
Yeah, Rockdan is putting a good amount of pressure on the Tetris, though. That'll help him in the Puyo stages. Let's see. Okay, yeah, he's good
setting
for the
up
same
with
strategy.
the GTR as well. So we got the 1, 2, 3 set up. Not quite anything for 4. Building up to.
Looks like he's gonna
the
probably
4.
want to wait for the swap.
Okay, we got a little bit on the right.
Not quite.
A little bit of color interference, but honestly, that's okay.
Okay, there's
Quick
the
little
T-spin.
T-spin single.
Ooh, 2 swap.
Yep, so the garbage that was saved over from Puyo actually canceled out most of the garbage, along with the T-spin single that Rockdan had coming out. Now this is interesting because we had that Tetris start. It gave Rockdan the opportunity to settle into his own bits here, and he can keep himself steady and at least build into things.
And that is a lot of trash. Rockdan needs to fight back. Okay, he's going to lessen that blow a little bit, but there's still so much trash stacked up there.
And Gracidia is not anywhere near out of fuel.
Yeah, he's got so much access to those pieces on his board. Okay, Rockdan's Tetris board looking a lot clearer, though. Let's see if he can do anything. He's got to start trying to build a lead on the Tetris side at least, because he's not going to be able to do anything much on the Puyo side.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the lead on the Tetris side. He just needs to be able to maintain it and kind of take it and run away with it as quickly as he can here. Because I don't think he's going to get through too many more of these Puyo Puyo rounds.
Oh no, it looks like Gracidia, that orange block was actually placed there, so. Uh-oh.
1, 2, 3. 3 chain coming out from Gracidia. And
Okay,
that might actually be the end of Rockdan.
Trash. Oh no. Could Rockdan have stalled there with that last piece and wait for the Tetris switch?
Potentially.
There was only 4 seconds left. So, yeah.
With 4 seconds, absolutely.
Yeah,
He
that might have been the
absolutely could have
strategy.
Stalling's kind of weird in Puyo because you can rotate the piece so many times before
and it's like
it just
as
locks
fast
you out
as
of
you can do
rotating.
it. I've seen my friend like stall for like 10 seconds. It's as fast as you can rotate it because it won't register that the piece is down. And if you can just keep stalling like that, you can wait until it swaps back. So
It's I don't know if it's the fastest, but there's definitely some kind of rhythm to it.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
It could be speed, but I know that there's also a bit of rhythm to it as well.
Yeah,
because
especially if there's like a
eventually,
buffer.
after you rotate so many times, it disallows you from rotating anymore, and it just eventually locks the piece in.
Okay, interesting.
All right, Rockdan's working on, he's thinking about what he wants to do here with Puyo. He's got a nice little chain set up with his blues into his greens.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got it able to build up into anything else. He also had that quick little 2-chain. Gracidia, though, actually keeping a nice little hole and, you know, not stacking flat so that the garbage could at least allow for things to still happen.
Oh, that's so smart. Rockdan, he's got access to that Tetris right now. He might try to wait for a
Tetris
swap
ready.
combo, though. Oh, he's just going to go for it?
He's just going to go for it, but he's got the Tetris into the into just the double line clear. That's going to send over a little bit more garbage.
Yeah, especially on the Puyo side. It seems like Gracidia is just so strong in that, so I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, any use that Rockdan can get out of Tetris to help alleviate the pain that Gracidia can deliver in the Puyo side is going to be a big help to him.
Gracidia's going to be able to hold on here. Looks like he's got a lot of good pieces stacked up. He just need to clear up a little bit more.
There's a lot of potential on Gracidia's board.
Okay.
Oh,
Rockdan.
I believe that was a slight misdrop on Gracidia's side.
Oh, no.
We had that O piece covering up, and...
Oh, that might be... Okay, that was a T-spin. All right. Just gotta hold on for a couple seconds.
Another small...
Oh, no.
Another small misdrop with an O piece. It's like what you were saying, you know, you get close to the top.
Yeah.
And sometimes players start to panic when they really not need to stay calm.
Yeah, he could have waited a little bit more. Wait for it to go back to Puyo. The thing with Tetris, when you're getting up there, it's harder to delay actually because like in Puyo you can just keep rotating it, but in Tetris, if it touches a piece, it'll just like lock in place if you don't have any more space. So it's like another T-spin double.
So this is where we're starting to see the just steady nature of Rockdan come into play and become what is going to give him the advantage.
And he's going to really want to win this round, too, to get that game 2 in his favor. Oh, but there's so much trash on his side.
Like, if Gracidia isn't able to shake off the misdrops in Tetris, this could very well go in Rockdan's favor.
Yeah. Okay, Gracidia has a 3-swap combo, though.
Tetris coming out from Rockdan.
Rockdan fighting back.
And we've got some holes on Gracidia's Tetris board.
It's
gonna be an interesting dig. It's absolutely doable, but it's gonna take again very careful gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not. It's starting to get like very little space on the Tetris side, so it's got to be really careful with that.
And now here's part of the problem.
Wow.
Oh, we've got a swap combo coming over because Rockdan had a piece set up over on the Tetris side, just enough to get something to come over.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of big because Gracidia didn't have any fuel to do anything on this Puyo side.
Oh. So, wow. Okay, even though he launched that, Gracidia is still able to get a 4-swap combo. All right. That's going to help a lot. But Rockdan seems like he was able to cancel most of it out. He's close to getting another Tetris, and Gracidia struggling a little bit, but just holding on.
We are Tetris ready
side.
on Rockdan's side. Is he he's going to use it at the very last moment.
And he gets it just in time.
Instead of using it immediately, he saved it for just the last moment. That's going to cover up anything that Gracidia had going on. Gracidia's going to have to do just some quick placement. And Rockdan had just enough set up to put a little bit of harass out. And he's got another 2-chain coming in with garbage.
And Gracidia trying to delay this. He's got time, but there's more trash coming, and that's going to be it. It's going to go to Rockdan.
Not quite enough. Rockdan pulling it out. Like we said, very steady-natured, very calculated, very calm.
It was so methodical because towards the end there, he knew that he had the lead on the Tetris, so he just had to stuff out Gracidia's strength, which seems to be the Puyo. Keep launching that trash. Don't let him build up any kind of combo on the Puyo side. And slowly that just kind of suffocated Gracidia out of the game.
Absolutely. Very, very smart gameplay.
Oh, wow. Gracidia starting off with a really good start here. 4 lines of trash on the Puyo side.
Like, I would say, between these two players, I would say that Gracidia has the higher level Puyo play, but Rockdan's just fighting game fundamentals and high level thinking from like Street Fighter and other games that he plays. That came in, and it's like you said, he took advantage of what he had that was working best for him and the weaknesses that he saw in his opponent. Yeah,
he adapted very well in that second game. And like you said, when you're mentioning the fighting game fundamentals, a lot of the same concepts transfer over. Baiting, poking, you know, all that's good stuff. Neutral.
They really do. They really do.
Advantage, disadvantage.
Like, I remember one of the first times I saw just Tetris or Puyo at a tournament, and started really watching like high level. That was a very quick round. But once I started watching high level Puyo and and Tetris and talking to some of the players, you know, the joke at Frosty Faustings was these players running around going, "Yo, this really is a fighting game," and it really kind of is.
Yeah, a lot of the same concepts transfer over, just different genre.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not your traditional, you know, anime people or, you know, your Ryus and other people whacking away at each other.
They're cute characters, though, playing with Puyos and Tetraminos. Okay, Gracidia. This is game 3, so Gracidia's gotta make some kind of a comeback.
Round 2 with Rockdan having a slight lead. And now Gracidia actually has a bit set up. Went with a more versatile kind of setup though. So now what Gracidia did was set themselves up to be able to kind of go either which way, and opted to take a little bit of damage and send it over. But Rockdan, he's actually got a big lead here in Tetris.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's starting to wear on Gracidia quite a bit.
It's like the further we get into the set, the more in favor it's going to Rockdan. But Gracidia fighting back strongly was able to keep that Tetris board pretty clear that round. But there's just little bits of trash here and there on Gracidia's side, just really interrupting anything that he might be trying to do.
We're gonna get a 3.
That was a really nice chain. 4 chain, 5 chain,
6 chain,
6 chain. There we go.
I didn't quite look ahead enough, but that was a 6 chain that just came out from Gracidia.
You know, Rockdan did have some counter trash, but still was not enough.
I was starting to get a little nervous there. I was wondering if perhaps Gracidia was getting a bit too greedy, but it looks like Gracidia knew a lot better what was coming than I did, which is totally fair. And I mean, I think I said it earlier, you know, greed can really pay off with Puyo Puyo because that damage stacks exponentially.
Yeah, and it's just so hard to have the proper resources to defend right away. Rockdan starting this round off so well. 2 seconds.
Rockdan with a, that's either, that I believe that's a 4 chain, just a very quick 4 chain, stuffing out, and there's not really going to be any room for Gracidia to work.
Rockdan I would just save up some resources here, make sure, you know, Gracidia is not able to get any kind of huge combo. And then once it swaps over to Puyo, it's pretty much over. So he's just got to hang on here.
Now, I know I've seen crazy things happen in puzzle games, but I don't quite think there's going to be anything, and we don't have another blue piece to start digging out.
Yeah.
That's going to be
it. The final round of Game 3 between these two players. It started off with, I think, 2-0 in Gracidia's favor, and then 2-0 in Rockdan's favor. Actually, I forgot what game 1 was. It might have been 2-1.
I think game 1 might have been a 2-1.
Yeah, okay.
And we saw Rockdan just slowly evolve into a methodical, you know,
adaptations.
being.
Yeah.
A very methodical being of, you know, managing his Tetris garbage sendover, managing when he attacked, managing just everything that he possibly could to work in his favor. And even in that very last round, he said, you know, Gracidia's a lot better at the longer chains, and I don't want to do another long round. I'm going to let Gracidia set up as quickly as they can.
Yep.
And then I'm going to send over just a quick 4 chain, and hopefully that'll be enough to block off. And it looked like it was just enough to block off, and that's the really painful part when you're a player like Gracidia, is that you get hit with just enough garbage to block off your entry points. Because you just hop out, and because you were already going as far as you could, it's rough.
Right.
It's rough.
When you're playing with players that good, you know, a lot of times you don't need that much trash stacked up on top of each other to really have a critical lead. You know, just at this level, just like little bits of trash here and there could be enough. You know, these players are playing at such a fast pace that, you know, it might end the next time it switches back. So even just a little bit of trash goes so far.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I said earlier, you know, the higher level that you get in both of these games, the more explosive these rounds can become. They can be over in literally just a single Puyo chain, because you get some crazy stuff going on. If you ever see like a 9 chain go off, Whoever's on
Oh,
the
boy.
receiving end of that, if they don't have a 9-chain, like even if they have an 8-chain set up, if they do not have a 9-chain, they are just dead. Because the amount of garbage from that last bit of the chain is just so big.
Yeah.
Because damage is just exponentially adding on to itself.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So, absolutely. So we are going to be waiting on a player, PK Toasty, and it looks like we've got Gracidia staying on board, so we're going into losers round 3 of the bracket.
Yep. So we'll see how Gracidia does here. Let's see.
Very
Might have a
strong
little bit of a break.
gameplay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We saw very strong gameplay from Gracidia. So I have hopes to see a continued level of gameplay at that level. Looks like we might be looking around for a controller potentially. Yeah, we've got controller issues at the moment. I believe Gracidia might be on a borrowed controller as well right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's okay. I mean, I'm not able to play today anyway, so that's A-okay that people can borrow.
Yeah.
As much help as I can be, I will be it.
Hope it's a good controller.
It's just a basic
That's
PS4
basic
pad.
controller.
I don't use it much, so it's pretty decent.
Have you tried playing on the Joy-Cons? It's very fun, but it's also very difficult.
I have actually played on the Joy-Cons. I initially had Puyo Puyo Tetris for the Switch. I've also since purchased it on PC. That was a weird transition, by the way.
Is it on Steam?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is on Steam. Puyo Puyo Tetris is on Steam. There's also Puyo Puyo Champions on Steam if you want to play just Puyo Puyo. That's a whole different beast, let me tell you. Playing just Puyo Puyo is so different.
You know, I'm so used to PPT. It's just like, it's so weird having just Puyo.
Well, and when you've got the swap mode, you're like a player like me where I'm much stronger in Tetris. I can use that Tetris to as much of my advantage, and it makes up for a decent portion of where I fall behind in Puyo Puyo.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where I can get away with simpler things in Puyo Puyo, while then flipping over to Tetris and pulling out more complex, spins and setups, where I can keep up with Puyo players.
Yeah.
But if I was just strictly solo Puyo against another solo Puyo player,
That's hardcore.
It's a totally different beast.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's awesome with swap. It's not about exactly how good you are at the individual games. A lot of it is the adaptability and the swap. Like, how well are you planning this? So we're going to start with Tetris right now. PK Toasty. Let's see what he's building up to. Okay, he's going to go for some quick clears. His board's kind of interesting. I can't tell what he's trying to do.
We've got a quick little S-spin. So PK Toasty knows how to use, rotations, knows how to use swaps. We actually see a pretty quick setup for GTR coming from PK Toasty, and we've also got a quick little setup from Gracidia.
Okay.
So
Gracidia going for a little bit of a different strategy this time. Not going to build up for that huge combo.
Yeah, just a little bit of a different strategy. I'm seeing potential from PK Toasty's Tetris board. I'm just waiting to see it used in ways that I expect it to be.
I hope we can see that.
Because it looks like there is planning going into this.
Yeah, he's definitely being very methodical. It's hard for me to tell what he's trying to go for, but I hope we can see it.
Okay, so we've got a
4-chain,
5-chain
5-chain
coming out from PK Toasty, which is going to be big garbage, and Gracidia might have to rely on...
He's got a 2-chain. That's still
it's
so
probably
much
going to have
trash
to
right
rely
there.
on holding out, but I don't
Okay.
know if that garbage is going to kill Gracidia or not in Tetris. So another fun thing that you can do is you can actually divide up how garbage gets sent over.
Oh.
You can actually eat some of the garbage in Puyo Puyo where it drops on the Puyo side, and then take the rest in Tetris.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because you do have some turns before the trash actually comes down.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got what could have turned into a 4-wide setup. We
Ooh,
actually have
perfect clear.
a perfect
That was
clear
so
come
much
out
trash.
from PK Toasty. I should actually know how much trash a perfect clear sends over, but I don't.
It's just a lot.
I'm ashamed of myself for not knowing that answer, but it also depends on how the perfect clear happens.
Oh, okay.
Because you could get like a perfect clear off of a Tetris drop, so you get a perfect clear and a Tetris, and those two add on to each other.
Dang.
So I still should know how much a perfect clear does, I just don't.
It's hard to count.
It really is. And like, Gracidia started clearing out the garbage from that perfect clear quick enough to where I didn't get to count it up.
Yeah.
So we've actually got a swap combo coming out from Gracidia. It's going to be a quick little 3-chain.
4-chain.
4-chain, okay.
Okay.
Man, sometimes
there's
it's
a
hard
swap
to
combo.
see the extra pieces.
Yeah, it's fun to count them like as they go. Okay. Okay.
We've got a
Interesting.
sticky little situation, but it looks like PK Toasty is able to work that out. Nice use of the L piece.
Okay, there's a T-spin. Just in time for the swap. Let's see if Gracidia is going to try to go for a quick combo here on the Puyo side. Okay, maybe not.
So the quick little 2-chain that PK Toasty had was enough to cancel out the T-spin.
Ah, okay.
So that was good awareness from PK Toasty. He said, you know, let's just not take any garbage here. Quick little 3-chain coming out with a 1-chain to follow up into a potential swap. No swap.
And it's looking a bit difficult for PK Toasty here.
PK Toasty's on the high side, but he's also got a pretty clean board.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with where that O piece is placed, but it looks like all the
Oh, no.
all the pressure stopped.
Oh, no.
This isn't the end. He's got
2
that L
seconds.
piece.
Okay, the L piece.
We're living. We're holding on. PK
And-
Toasty holding on. He had the L piece ready. He was able to place it in a
Oh,
way that
no.
helped.
And he got that trash stacked up too high in that palm there on the Puyo side.
Quick little Puyo death. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be the final round of this game. Game 1. Let's
Okay,
see
we got a
who's gonna take
GTR starter from PK Toasty. Quick little 1-chain, which isn't going to do anything to PK Toasty's setup here.
Yeah. They're both going at the Puyo side a bit more calmly than the last time. Gracedia's going to go for a
little
quick
bit more.
2-chain.
Quick little 2-chain.
He's getting that lead. So much
Ooh,
garbage now.
There was a missed all clear on Gracedia's side. He had the double yellow with the 2 yellow on the board. I wonder if there was a reason for opting away from the all clear.
Interesting. Okay, PK Toasty bending up to a 2-wide on the right side. 2-wide, a bit more difficult than the 4-wide, but it's
little bit more.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to fill in later, so
Yeah.
it's definitely the higher reward play.
4-wide and 2-wide are interesting because, like, 4-wide, you can use any piece and not run into too much trouble
Yeah.
until you get maybe an O piece, and that's about the only one that starts to kind of stuff up a 4-wide. But 2-wide, I don't know. They're both versatile in their own ways. 4-wide gives you the potential to get a bigger chain going, like a bigger Tetris chain.
That's true.
But 4-wide is easier and quicker, I think.
4-swap
Or not 4-wide,
combo
2-wide.
versus a 1-swap combo.
We're back over here in Tetris.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm noticing that PK Toasty is not doing any T-spin swat, like, setups.
Yeah.
He's just sticking with nice, simple things, kind of like Rockdan does. Slow, methodical. Slower and methodical.
Yeah. Gracedia's going for this quick fast move right now. He wants to stuff out PK Toasty's side as soon as possible because PK Toasty is trying to clear up this trash. And he's starting to even it up a little bit, but Gracidia does have a lot built up right now. Let's see if he's going to go for the swap combo. Maybe not. Okay, there it is.
Quick little swap combo. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And he's going to quickly start getting these Tetris lines
5-chain
now.
into a swap
2-chain.
combo. That's going to be a lot of garbage to worry
3-chain.
about.
Okay, there it is. Gracidia going to take game 1.
That
That
is,
was a really
in fact,
close
game
round.
1 going to Gracidia. Both players kind of looking like they don't know how this is going to end.
PK Toasty smiling a bit there as it goes on. His friend's cheering him on.
Got GTR setups coming out from Gracidia. Once we get that going, that's a nice, quick little 4 chain if he gets that green in there. Setting up for the 5. Quick little 2 chain. Board's too
There's
flat
the
on
trash.
Grasidia's side, so that's going to stuff out a lot of the stuff. Grasidia's going to have to dig out of the garbage.
You know,
And-
Grasidia had some stuff going on there, but he you know,
Grasidia had a
was just
very
bit
clean
slower.
setup going, but the quick harass that PK Toasty gave out was just enough to cover
Yeah.
up, and Grasidia's board was too flat, so all of his openings got blocked up.
And just like that, Toasty's going to get a big lead on the Puyo side. That does not look that great right now, but Toasty can take his time, doesn't have to wait too hard.
Toasty's got a lot more room to breathe here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Grasidia's the one who has to work up with the stuff. But we did actually have something happen on the Tetris board from Grasidia's side. I wasn't watching close enough to see it, and that brought over garbage to PK Toasty's Puyo Puyo board.
And Grasidia now accessing those bottom pieces now. They did a really good job clearing that up that round.
Yeah, definitely made full use of that time, cleaning up the board on Puyo Puyo, working their way down and getting lots of little 2 chains
These
to send harass.
missed Oh, oof.
We've got an interesting
They
board on
both of them
sides.
actually, yeah, both of them.
PK Toasty's a little bit scarier looking
Yeah.
than Grasidia's on the Tetris
There
side.
are a lot of weird gaps there. It's going to be pretty hard to clear that out, but they can do it.
I believe in both players here, but I would be a lot less comfortable if I were PK Toasty.
Okay.
And now we've got the chains coming
That was
out.
close.
We actually had a chain for chain with PK Toasty's being slightly bigger, and it came out right when he needed it.
Yeah, if Grasidia was able to launch some trash right there, that would have ended Toasty on the Puyo side.
All right, we
Okay,
are
this is
working
looking
our way
really
out.
ugly, but
We've got a nice
trying.
clean setup here.
okay,
We're
the
working
orange
our way
block,
out.
that helps.
That Z piece not helping.
Oh, he needs something to clear that up ASAP. Okay,
We're okay. We're living.
all right. Not much better, just hanging in there, but
We're living.
yeah. Toasty, he might be able to do something here.
We
Okay,
do have
no.
a quick little 2 chain coming out. But we have a
3
bigger
swap
chain
combo.
coming out here from Grasidia.
Toasty's got to take the trash here, or else it's going to end his Tetris.
He's
so-
absolutely got to take the trash here.
Oh, no. It's
There
going to be
is
very
no
difficult.
stalling, but there's also not a lot of room for Toasty to work
Yeah.
on either board.
Okay, the S block. No, okay, not enough space there. As you saw there, we don't have enough space, and it touches the next piece. It just gets locked in place. So
All right, we've got the Puyo start coming. I think I actually just figured out what doorknob is.
Oh, what is
and
it?
we could have started it. Both players could have started it, but they didn't. So I can't
Oh.
point it out. I can't like explain it verbally.
yeah, you have
But
to like
if I
visualize it.
see it, I can point it out.
Yeah.
I figured out what it was.
Okay, so Toasty's going for GTR, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toasty's got the GTR set up. It looked like Grasidia wanted to start GTR, but transitioned into other things.
Oopsie. All right. Grasidia's trying to get a T-spin in there.
Okay.
Ooh, double?
We
Is that
actually,
triple?
that's a triple setup. So if Grasidia can get that T-piece in there. which
Oh,
looks
here it
like-
is.
Oh,
No!
no! Not quite fast enough, so
Yeah.
we missed the opportunity for the T-spin triple.
At least it didn't lock in place, so he still got that
It
open
didn't
for later.
lock. So what happens is that T-piece is gone. We have to
Right,
work
yeah.
our way through the. We have to work our way through the next bag to get a T-piece, and hopefully we're able to maintain.
That would have been such a nice swap combo right there, actually, if he was able to get the T-spin.
It absolutely would have. So in Tetris, a T-spin triple translates into 6 lines.
Oh, man.
I don't know entirely how that translates into Puyo garbage, but it's
a lot.
enough. It's
Yeah.
enough to be something.
Okay, that is a lot of trash right there. That's going to end it. Game? Oh, wow. So it's actually just going to go to Grasidia. Or is it a best of 5? Looks like they might still be
I
playing.
believe it's a best of 3. Yeah, it's a best of 3.
Okay, yeah, it's a best of 3. So
So-
Grasidia's going to take it 2-0, but a really good effort by Toasty.
It was a 2-0, but it was a close 2-0.
Yeah, it was a close 2-0.
It was a very close 2-0. Good showing from both players. We are okay. So up next, we are coming into winners finals. We're going to see Grasidia step down from the stage, and We have Rockdan returning, and who else? Shard? S-H-A-R-M, Charm.
Charm.
Okay, we're going to see Rockdan versus Charm.
Okay.
So the return of Rockdan, the steady and calculated and methodical being that he is.
Back.
He is back. And we haven't seen Charm up here yet.
Yep.
So let's get a look at Charm and see what they do.
All right. Got some cosplayers.
The only thing I can think of here is Cinderella, and I could be wrong, but that's what's on my mind right here, seeing this costume.
The fans going wild.
And this is winners finals. So this will be interesting to watch.
Should be a really good match.
I'm actually going to take this opportunity real quick to I started talking about it in the last set that we saw, but in Tetris, there's a bag system, right?
Uh-huh.
So every 7 pieces is going to contain 1 of each piece. So the first 7 pieces, you're going to see 1 of every piece, and then the next 7 pieces, it'll be 1 of every piece, but in a different order again.
Huh.
And that's how the bag works in Tetris, right? In Puyo, there's actually no bag. It's just the seeding is the same, so both players get the same pieces, but it is completely randomized from the beginning.
Interesting.
So there's no way to really kind of think ahead for your Puyo. You can build ahead for your Puyo board, but it's harder to think ahead. Whereas in Tetris, because you know that every 7 pieces you're going to be seeing the individual pieces again, you can plan around that a lot better in the higher level stuff. So when you see like T-spin triples coming up, you can see somebody store a piece and then get other things going on. You get like DT cannons coming out if they start. You sometimes see like Albatross. And the reason that you get these starters with these funny names is because you can pretty consistently get them just because of the bag system. So it's kind of cool.
Wonder if we'll see an Albatross. What even is that?
Oh, Albatross is another hard one to explain. So the way that Albatross works is it sets you up for a quick T-spin double that you can then very quickly flip into a T-spin triple. It doesn't set you up for a back-to-back combo like DT cannons do, because DT cannon is just short for double triple cannon. And that's where you get you have it set up so that you can spin in for a T-spin double, and if you do have another T-spin coming in, you can immediately get a T-spin triple after that.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is button checks. This might be going right into it. We haven't stopped yet, and they both look very serious, so I believe this is just going right in. We've got Rockdan here on the right and Charm here on the left. Very just methodical Tetris gameplay from Rockdan. He is Tetris ready, and he's got the T-piece that he was ready to stuff in, but the swap happened.
Okay.
We've got GTR coming out from Charm. Already
GTR.
set up. It's going to be a quick little 4-chain, 5-chain actually.
Oh wow, that's a really
that
good
was
one.
very quick.
Yeah.
And it was very clean.
Okay, there's another wave of trash coming, and Rockdan's just gonna take it. Okay. I think he could have delayed it if he wanted to go to the Tetris side, right?
Yeah.
If he had onto that piece, yeah.
Yep, Rockdan could have just done spin delays, eaten it in Tetris. But that was a very just fast 5-chain GTR. Very clean, very fast. Didn't look like there was any mistakes. It looks like that was exactly his plan.
Very clean and textbook.
Yeah, very, very textbook. Absolutely.
Usually don't get like that good of a setup with GTR.
A fun little T-spin single
and
into
another
a T-spin
T-spin
double.
back to back? I've never seen that.
Okay, so I really like what Sharp just did there. Set up so that she could have T-spin doubled. Instead, opened herself up for the T-spin single, so she was still stuffing that T-piece into a weird piece or weird place. But that kept the opportunity for another T-spin double. So she took the time to look to see that she had another T-piece coming and got the back-to-back combo.
Dang.
And back-to-back adds at least another line set so that she got the 2, the 4, and at least 5.
Wow. And look at the lead Charm has now on the Puyo side.
Yeah, that Puyo lead is going to be very detrimental to Rockdan.
Okay, Rockdan trying to get down. He can get a Tetris. Maybe just clear that up a little bit. Okay. Almost there. Okay, not gonna quite be able to do it just yet.
Rockdan
He needs
holding
to
out.
survive here.
He does need to find a way to survive this this Puyo board because Charm actually has things set up already still and is ready to fire whenever she gets the colors necessary or really just whenever she chooses.
Yeah. Okay,
Like right here,
Rockdan.
she's going to go. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3 chain. Rockdan doesn't have anything to defend with, so he's going to have to eat most of it.
Only able to get a couple one chains, so
He held out for Tetris.
yeah.
He's got Tetris ready.
And there's the Tetris. That was a really good move to wait for the Tetris to get that trash. And he's almost got that other Tetris right there.
Yep, just needs to open up that hole again.
Needs like a square. Oh, there's a square. But,
I'm curious about Rockdan's placements.
yep. Okay. So this is getting a little scary here because Charm is building up to a combo here. And if she unleashes it right now with the swap combo, that could end Rockdan. See if she's going to go for it. Okay, and here it is.
Charm's going to set up this or set off this 4 chain right here. That
Okay, just a
very
3
may
chain.
well be the end of Rockdan.
Yeah, and that's going to be it. Game 1 goes very cleanly to Charm.
I never back down.
So it looks like Puyo starters are not what Rockdan is going to want to see. So we actually get the Tetris starter. And hopefully Rockdan can work his methodical ways to deal with what Charm brings out in Puyo Puyo.
Yeah. And Charm really quickly setting up for Tetris. Going to go for that right away. Yeah. Pretty even so far. Alright. Charm's got another Tetris set up right there. So they could go for a swap combo, build up something here on the Puyo side, wait for the swap back to Tetris. And that could be a devastating blow.
Oh no, I see it coming already.
That's so
Oh
quickly
no,
right now.
Charm's going in. So she has taken awareness that Rockdan's Puyo is a lot slower. And we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Here it
6
is. And
chain
there's a
coming
swap.
out.
And that
That's
one
going to
piece-
be very big.
Okay, I was like, wait, please don't misplace that. She
and it
like-
went into a swap combo. So Rockdan has even more
Oh,
garbage
wow.
coming out.
And as you can see here, these matches are going by so quickly. I wonder if Rockdan's going to be able to come back. This is the final round for him, possibly, if it's the best of 3 still.
So here's an interesting note.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. I'll hold on to this thought. Keep going.
I was just going to say, he's got to make something happen this round because this might be his final round.
This is winners finals, so it might be best of 5.
Yeah, maybe.
If it is best of 3, this will be the last round for
We did see him
Rockdan.
adapt really quickly against City earlier, so maybe we can do it again. He just needs to hang on and download his opponent.
I'm not entirely okay. I did actually see correctly. We saw the perfect or the all clear,
Ooh.
and Charm knew that, so she just took the all clear right away. So now any garbage that Rockdan can potentially send that would be detrimental to Charm, she can just block a majority of it with that all clear because she knows that Rockdan's not really looking to build up bigger chains.
And she's going to get that all clear right now. 3
Oh,
chain,
that's a
4
5 chain with the all clear
Oh
bonus,
my
and it's
goodness.
transitioning into Tetris. That's very scary for Rockdan.
Oh, no.
That's very scary for Rockdan.
Still got 3 lines of trash. Gonna come. Okay. He was able to cancel it out, but Charm trying to keep up the pressure with the little bits of clears here and there. Rockdan's
Tetris
gonna
coming
hold
out
on
from
with that
Rockdan.
Tetris.
It's going to send as much as he can.
Okay, so Rockdan getting pretty close to even on the Tetris side. The Puyos are both relatively even about, but
Now-
Charm does have a little bit more resources there.
Here's the relief for Rockdan right now. Charm has little resources right now, but she is very speedy with the Puyo and very quick to set up. And unfortunately, it looks like these 1 chains that Rockdan has been sending out isn't going to do a whole lot to stop Charm.
And Charm fighting with a 4-swap combo. She's going to keep it going. 6-swap. That's the biggest we've seen yet on stream. And that's going to be a 2-0.
Very clean gameplay from Charm.
Okay, so it is going to be best of 5.
Let's see if Rockdan can really work his Tetris magic here.
You still got a couple more chances. Charm's going to want to close this out as soon as possible. You can never underestimate your opponent.
She's absolutely going to want to just take the biggest amount of advantage of her Puyo skills as she can right now.
And with this 2-game lead, she doesn't have to go for any direct damage right away. Just building up pressure alone can't be enough to wear down your opponent. So she's just going to want to keep a lead, not do anything too greedy here. Looks like she's just going to go for a 3-chain. Okay. 4-chain, actually. Another good start by Charm.
Very good start.
And she's already
She got the
setting up for a
T-spin double set up. Again, she does the
just
thing
in
where
time.
she can get the T-spin single.
Oh, and then, okay.
She had the single, set it up for a double so that she can just store that later.
And here's another T-spin.
There comes the T-spin double.
Wow, that planning, back to back. Okay, Rockdan trying his best to clear the Tetris side. He's almost got a Tetris built up there. Okay, Rockdan just kind of going for these small Puyo chains. Doesn't seem like he's trying to build up to anything too big, but he spotted that trash would block Charm's combo there, so it seems like it was a good move. Charm actually still able to get a chain, though.
Unfortunately, that one little line of garbage, it wasn't enough to hold out long enough. It was enough to be an annoyance.
And right there, Charm fighting with a 5-swap combo against Rockdan's 4-swap combo, but was not enough. The trash takes the first round for Charm.
Rockdan's looking like he's on his last leg here for winners finals, and that will send him over to losers finals.
If he wins this game, he's still got to win 2 more games here. So
he has got a long road ahead of him just in this set. And if he manages to come out from loser's side, I'd be interested to see if he can work his way around this.
Yeah. Okay. Charm building up pretty flat here. Rockdan got kind of a stairway. Okay, he's gonna launch some trash again.
Okay, that was just enough garbage to do enough damage to actually cover up things from Charm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an annoyance for her to work around, but if she's quick enough, she will be able to get through
again.
things.
Back
There's
to back.
that back-to-back T-spin single into T-spin double.
She's so good at that.
A fun little setup, and she's already got a T-spin double set up again.
Another one. Wow. That is just so much pressure. And Rockdan's got to quickly clear that as fast as he can.
Cleaning up a good chunk of garbage there on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Rockdan, he's starting to find his way.
Combo. Wow. Even with that trash, Charm was able to get a 3-swap combo. That just really shows how calm she is. And that
shows
trash
her
might be
awareness
too much.
too.
Yeah. Wasn't able to delay that fast enough.
So that's going to put Charm in grand finals.
Yep. And we'll see more Rockdan in losers finals. Ooh, that was quite a match. Up until now, we've seen pretty close matches. That match was still a pretty good one, but it was definitely in Charm's favor throughout.
I think that that's probably the most uneven match that we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's definitely the most.
And it wasn't awful. But I don't know if I could call that one as close as the others.
Charm was really good with the T-spin back-to-backs, and that alone just gave her such a strong advantage against Rockdan.
Absolutely. She was showing off some of the more technical side of Tetris, some of the things that can be a bit more difficult to execute, but very much so rewarding.
Yeah. You have to really look ahead, know what pieces you're getting. You know, look 2 pieces, 3 pieces ahead. It's so much planning, so much to think about. It's just really impressive.
Looks like we've got Mr. Jacko's coming back on stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Jacko's, all the way from the very first round that we commentated.
Yeah. Did Mr. Jacko's win that set?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Mr. Jacko's beat Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Oh, we've got the bracket here. Okay, so the right side, we've got Mr. Jacko's path highlighted. So Mags actually did win over... Okay.
Okay, yep. Mr. Jackos.
We'll
okay,
see
we're
this
waiting
again
for it
here.
to kind of rotate.
It'll come back.
Yeah, okay.
So
back to the
Mr.
beginning.
Jackos actually beat Gracidia,
Ooh.
who was the one person that we saw going really even with Rockdan here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mr. Jackos has actually had a very long losers run here.
Oh, for sure, yeah. So when you get knocked into losers, you basically have to play double the amount of matches to. You have to win double in order to get back to where you were.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that
so
is
Mags
really
did
tiring.
lose to Mr. Jackos.
Okay.
Or Mr. Jackos
yeah,
did lose to
Mr.
Mags.
yeah, okay.
So Mr. Jackos has been in losers bracket this whole time, working his way up to losers finals.
All right.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And you can see there the bracket runs. Mr. Jackos a lot longer than Rockdan's.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Rockdan went through Bananazers, who another very strong opponent for Rockdan as well.
Yep.
Gracidia, Charm, and now Mr. Jackos in losers finals.
So far, we've had all 4 of Rockdan's matches streamed. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah. We've seen all of Rockdan's matches. And in the meanwhile, we actually have Mr. Jackos beat Bananazers in losers round 2. And looks like Mr. Jackos also went through, yeah, as we said, Gracidia. So we've seen quite a few of Rockdan's plays, but not as much.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they can compare.
We've got the Tetris start here.
Okay.
So we've got Mr. Jackos on the left, Rockdan on the right.
They're
Looks
both
like-
leaving one column on the sides.
Yep, we've got Tetris for
and
Tetris. A bit more stacked up for Mr. Jackos. And oh, he's got the T-spin double. Okay.
Back to back, right there.
Tetris into T-spin double.
And right away, the action's wrapping up so quickly. Seems like maybe some awareness. Perhaps they spotted that they were both leaving one column open there, so they kind of went for the same thing.
It's very possible. And now we're over here into the Puyo side, where we've seen Rockdan take some very calculated attacks. And we've also seen Mr. Jackos take just a bit longer of an approach, bigger chains.
Yeah.
Before, I believe that's what we saw in round 1 of
And
winners.
There's another T-spin back-to-back. Mr. Jackos, I don't think we've seen him do those earlier, but perhaps he wasn't quite warmed up. He's getting a lot of them now, so.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit of warm-up before you start spinning around.
Okay, Rockdan just not letting those T-spin back-to-backs harm him too much. He's got a slight lead on the Tetris side, just keeping at it slowly.
He's got a bit more going here on the Puyo side. Rockdan's got fuel for the fire. Mr. Jackos covering up with just a quick little chain.
Yeah, and Mr. Jackos has got a very clean Puyo board, but that means that he's not going to have too much stacked up and ready for the possible swap combo when it goes back to Tetris. Rockdan, okay. He's going for one chain. Got a little bit of swap combo. That might be enough to finish off Mr. Jackos. 3 swap combo. Okay, no trash
Jackos
stacked
is
up.
getting dangerously close
He
to the
needs
top
that
here.
T-spin. Oh no, that S-piece blocked him. I believe he could have went for the T-spin there, but it was just in the way. So
So the thing about that T-spin is that even if he got that T-spin or that T-piece tucked in, there wasn't anything on the right side filling up the
Oh.
board, so it wouldn't have gotten anything.
okay,
Unfortunately.
nice
Okay,
effort,
we have
though.
a T-spin double coming out from Mr. Jackos. Fun fact, T-spin doubles are the equivalent of a Tetris piece. So for 2 lines of for a 2-line clear, you get the equivalent of a 4-line clear.
Yeah, it's so much more efficient.
It's very efficient.
Okay, a bunch of yellows and greens here. It's very interesting. They're going for very different openings here.
We got the start to stairs on the left side for Rockdan. We've got, you know, a little bit set up on the right side just in case he wants it. We've also got a taller stack, so it's easier to work with when that garbage comes down. Mr. Jackos getting a nice little chain set off for
that
the
red
swap.
piece not looking good right there. Okay,
Yeah, that
Mr.
Z piece
Jackos,
is a little scary there. I don't know if I agree with it.
He's got T-spin though. He's trying to clear up as fast as he can. Not looking too bad now. Uh-oh, okay. This is another
It's
misplacement.
looking a little shaky.
He's got delay, but he doesn't have too much on the Puyo either.
Okay, we're delayed just enough, and I
Yeah.
believe it's a line piece coming over.
He has to make something happen here, or else it's not gonna.
I
it's
believe
not
a
gonna
line
last.
piece is the next piece for Mr. Jackos.
Is that gonna fit?
If he slides it over to the right-hand side,
Okay. Yeah,
and
if he's like super
and-
quick.
Yeah. Then he could live through.
He has to rotate that like right away, probably. Okay, let's see.
Meanwhile,
what happens.
Roxanne's got a nice clean board on
Oh,
both
no.
sides. Okay,
s-
it wasn't the
yeah.
line piece. Something else was coming in,
Yeah.
and it was topped out already. So there was no chance. It was
Okay.
just, it was one of those things where he had to end it in that last Puyo Puyo, or it was just over.
Okay. So we're gonna go into game 2. Rockdan with the lead. Okay.
Quick little 2-chain coming out from Mr. Jackos. It's going to cover up just a little bit of what Rockdan was doing.
Yeah.
So Rockdan kind of has to start from scratch here. Not entirely, but it was an annoyance.
Yeah. Looks like he's just gonna try to just clear up the trash quickly, but not just wait for a bigger combo.
That garbage actually being kind of kind to Rockdan just gave him a nice
Yeah.
little hole that was very convenient.
Ooh, another misplacement. Misplacement by Rockdan this time. I don't see that too often from him. Okay.
You
Not-
really don't, but it didn't seem to bother him. He just kind of looked at it
Yeah.
and went, huh.
His
Okay.
board is really clean still, so. Mr. Jacko setting up for a nice 4-wide in the middle there. So
Oh, Mr.
Yeah.
Jackos does have that 4-wide in the center there. So that's going to make it more difficult to top him out in Tetris. It also means that if he gets favorable pieces, so
Yeah.
not an O piece, he can just really go off here in Tetris in this next round. And
it's-
that could be very devastating because Rockdan doesn't have a whole lot to do here.
Right. Rockdan's got to play defense here. If he tried to throw any trash over it, it could potentially just help Mr. Jackals build up an even longer combo there. So
All right, so we got quite a bit out of that 4-wide. It did stall out for a second, but Rockdan's now at the top, and he has very
Rockdan's
little to work
trying.
with.
Okay, wasn't able to get quite the right pieces there. And Mr. Jackals taking his first round.
Was that the first Tetris round, or did he just build into that 4-wide center?
I
Because
can't
I know
remember.
that must have been the first, because it's very difficult after, if you don't start with a 4-wide center, it's very difficult to kind of build into it, just because it requires a lot of adjusting in a lot of places. So that might have been a 4-wide center starter, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Jackals was not quite able to get that T-spin. You can see those 3 remaining blocks of the T part still there.
That is a little unfortunate, yeah. He got a single clear and not quite the double.
Yeah. Mr. Jackals once again just launching some quick harassment, but Rockdan with a well-timed counterattack able to clear up the trash.
So Mr. Jackos is getting set up here with some chains getting ready. Rockdan, he's Tetris ready. He's got the Tetris on deck.
Okay. Rockdan sending over some trash. He's got another Tetris almost built up. Okay. Yeah, he's got to wait for a
Mr.
line
Jackos
piece.
is close to getting himself out of this garbage, and he'll be Tetris ready now.
Okay. And Mr. Jackos, he's going to
Okay,
go for it.
he's going
Yeah.
for the swap Tetris into the
There's a
2-chain.
swap. Oh, if he waited a little bit for the line piece first, then he could have gotten a long combo. But okay, that was pretty nice 3 swap. Once again, that trash blocking up Rockdan.
So Rockdan's going to have to deal with this garbage here. We do, okay, so this is kind of where we're getting stairs built up on Mr. Jacko's side.
Yeah.
And that was kind of neat because he had 3 pillars set up, and either which one he popped would have led to a 3-chain.
Oh, and there's a T-spin double back to back.
Ooh.
Okay. Looks like that trash was canceled out mostly.
T-spin double.
Okay. Mr. Jacko's doing his best to hang on there, but he's got to make some kind of something happen here. He wants to keep up the pressure on Puyo because it could close out Rockdan if he's not able to clear it up. Okay, he's going to get a 3 chain. No, just a 2 chain.
Just a
Is
quick
that
little
enough?
2-chain.
Got a few pieces there.
Wasn't enough to kill, and that could be really bad for
Ooh.
Mr. Jacko.
That
because
last line of
he
trash.
needs to either survive this and hope that Rockdan doesn't have enough to kill him.
Yep. Mr. Jackos has a
Ooh.
well-timed swap combo.
Oh, we did it!
He's able to make the
He
comeback.
got the Z-spin. The
missed
very awkward Z-spin that actually requires like hard timing and weird rotations.
What a comeback.
I
And
love
he's just gotta
that
hang on here.
Z-spin.
He's just gotta hang on here. It's gonna
He's
be over.
Oh no, he didn't quite get the T-spin double.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Oh, okay. Rockdan, he can still come back from this. Mr. Jackos, he's got to stack up the trash as fast as he can. That might be it. No, he's got a red piece.
Oh no!
Oh, no. He just needed a little bit of alarm combo.
Rockdan's still okay?
Oh, Rockdan's making such a wonderful comeback. It's not going to look good for Mr. Jackos. We're going back to Tetris. He needs a T-piece. He needs a T-piece. He's trying to... Oh, he's not... Okay.
We're not done yet,
Not quite. Oh.
but it's not good.
Not the right rotation he wanted.
He's holding out as hard as he can. Oh, and after
man.
he had
Yeah,
that
the Z-spin
sick
too.
Z-spin too. That was a Z-spin where he didn't have a wall to just force it. He had to actually do weird rotations to get that to work.
And that was so close to being Mr. Jackos' game in this best of 5, but that trash near the end there on Puyo just wasn't quite enough to end Rockdan. And that's an example of where you need that attentiveness. Rockdan was able to get the green piece he needed.
When Mr. Jackos lost that T-piece to the swap, I think that's really, really where it kind of sealed his fate.
Okay, so...
Okay, he is setting up for 4-wide, or at least he's thinking of it. He's trying it. Okay, he does have it
here
going.
is.
He's going to build it nice and big. And then once
So
we get back to
clean.
Tetris, he's just going to unleash hell.
Yeah.
That's the plan here.
So beautiful right now. Almost all the way stacked up.
Got a nice big board.
You know, he got some trash from Rockdan, but again, that trash can help him launch an even bigger combo later, especially with the 4-wide. Okay.
That JPS got deleted by the swap, which is exactly what Mr. Jackos wanted.
All right, Mr. Jackos just going for some quick clears here. Rockdan not having too much of a combo built up on Puyo, so Mr. Jackos can take a little bit of his time here. And back to the 4-wide.
4-wide.
Here it is.
Here it comes.
Let's see how long it
He's
can
not
go.
going to stop. He's just going to keep on going.
Yep.
And he's watching those pieces very carefully, making
Very
sure
well
that he can
done.
use
Got
everything that he's
T-spin
got.
in there too.
He's still going, everybody. This is 4-wide.
Oh, wow. What a combo.
That is 4-wide.
A very well-fought game there, going over to Mr. Jackos, 2-1. So now the players are evened up 1 game each in this best of 5. We've got 3 more games potentially, so it'll be very interesting to see how this evolves.
There was a very clean 4-wide too. He made sure that he was watching ahead so that he knew what to do so that he didn't get stalled out by an O-piece. Very, very clean 4-wide. You know, you don't hear a lot of Tetris players like say nice things about 4-wide because they all seem to just universally dislike it.
Really?
But you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it when
paying
it
off.
happens, you know?
Yeah. It's so satisfying just to see like so much clearing in a row.
Okay, so Mr. Jackos is coming up with a 4-wide starter again. That O-piece might have been a misdrop, so we might have to work our way out of this 4-wide and into something else. He does have a T-spin double set up right now, and he's got the T-piece on deck. He's going to be able to slide that that line piece over.
Yeah, setting up for another T-spin in the middle.
So this is a relief for Rockdan right now. The 4-wide is gone.
Yeah.
It's not a threat to him right now. So now Rockdan can go back to playing normal Tetris.
Yeah.
He can not think about the 4-wide.
It'll be interesting to see what Jackals will try to build up to when we go back to Tetris. Is it going to be the 4-wide again? Or he might try to go for something new. You know, the 4-wide has been winning him rounds, but Rockdan might adapt to it, so we'll see if he's going to go for a mix-up. Okay, yes, so it's not going to be a 4-wide. He's going to set up for Tetris.
Nope, we're setting up for Tetris.
And a T-spin.
We're topping it off with a T-spin. So now we've got the line piece into the T-piece for the Tetris back-to-back T-spin double. We've got another Tetris, already on deck because he had that line piece just waiting for it.
Okay,
And
Rock Dan.
right there was a very explosive Tetris round from Mr. Jackos.
And you can really tell, like, just looking at Rock Dan's Tetris, like 90% of it, like more than 90% is just trash. Like barely any of it are like his pieces.
Yeah, Rock Dan is going to have a tough time getting into a good position because right now he doesn't have a great way to open up that garbage.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, T piece. Ooh,
Oh no, that eyepiece.
Oh
no.
Oh no.
Very clean play from Mr. Jackos. Tetris into back-to-back T-spin double into almost a back-to-back extra Tetris.
Yeah, there wasn't too much for that Rock Dan could do there.
Very explosive. Okay, so what Mr. Jackos has right there, I think that's doorknob.
Oh, okay.
I think that's doorknob.
I don't see a doorknob. Is it supposed to look like a doorknob?
It's because, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's doorknob.
Okay.
It made sense to me when I saw it after hearing doorknob, and I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Mr. Jacko is really showing off like all the strategies he knows on all the different builds. Okay.
Okay. We're transitioning into something else here on the Tetris side for Mr. Jackos. Meanwhile, Rock Dan sticking with the tried and true, as he always does.
Leaving that one column on the right side again. Okay, Mr. Jackos might have a swap combo coming. That line block's gonna fall in place. And there's the swap combo, just one right now. Let's see if Mr. Jackos has enough time to go for a second one. Okay, not quite. Wasn't able to quite connect that into a 2-swap.
Had a 3-chain come out from Mr. Jackos. Just more harassed to put Rock Dan in a not-so-great position.
Yeah.
Tetris right away
Tetris.
on Rock Dan's side.
Okay, so if I were Mr. Jackos, I'd probably try to build up a combo here and try to end him on the Puyo. I'm not Mr. Jackos though, but let's see what he does.
Mr. Jackos isn't in a bad spot for Tetris either, though, because Rock Dan's not in a position to be Tetris ready anymore. He's got to dig out the garbage, and that's really the scariest thing that Rock Dan is going to do to you in Tetris. So with a board like Mr. Jackos on the Tetris side right now, he's not really afraid of a Tetris.
Yeah. And okay, Mr. Jackos got just a 2-chain, trying to keep up the harassment, not let Rock Dan clear up too much of that trash. And okay, just a few pieces of trash right now.
Mr. Jackos getting a nice little swap combo on the go.
Mr. Jackos got another T-spin coming. 1 swap combo, 2 swap combo. Rock Dan got cleared up.
1 swap, 2 swap, 3 swap, 4.
Okay. Was able to cancel a few lines of that trash. Okay.
Oh no, he tried to get the S-spin and it didn't quite cooperate with him that time.
Darn. Okay.
He tried for it. It's really awkward because you can get that to work,
4-chain.
and Rock Dan.
5-chain, even
Rock
with
Dan
that trash.
pulling out a 5-chain.
So that's what he's doing. He's trying to clear out the right side for that.
You know, I'd spent so much time looking at Mr. Jackos' board,
Uh-oh.
I didn't even see
Mr. Jackos
what
trying to
Rock
stall.
Dan had.
All right, wasn't able to do it.
I made the mistake there of looking too much at Mr. Jackos' board to even see that Rock Dan had anything ready.
Yeah, I just saw the trash. Okay.
I just knew that his Puyo board was not looking great for a minute.
Yep, but Rock Dan had a plan.
Okay, so we got the T-spin double set up.
Yep.
He's going to be able to open up that left side again, opting to not go for the 4-wide that he could have built into.
And Rock Dan saving up for that Tetris. Still got a lot of resources to go. Very quickly
Slight
speeding
miss
it up.
drop from Mr. Jackos.
Okay. So the Tetris is pretty even. That S block is a little bit in the way though, but okay. Mr. Jacko is going for some quick harassment, but Rock Dan has the counter ready. All right, just
Rock Dan working as carefully as he can to get things going with Puyo. What's interesting with Rock Dan is that it almost seems like the more time he gets to spend with Puyo, the more opportunity he finds for himself to just build something really big out of the blue.
Yeah.
I think we've seen that from many of the rounds that we've seen Rockdan play.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he doesn't start with the bigger things, but he'll eventually build something just big out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's a very flexible player.
Meanwhile, we've got Mr. Jackos coming out, working on building a quick little 2-chain.
Yep. Mr. Jackos has a bit of a difficult Tetris board, but he really is going to want this game too, and fighting back with a nice combo there. Not too much trash though. He's going to try really hard here to make a comeback. Got a line piece. Okay. Ooh, that orange block was really nice. Rockdan not quite able to launch enough harassment. His board's not looking too clean either right now. Mr. Jackos can take a little bit of his time. Okay, oh no, he really wanted that T in there, but wasn't able to get it. Okay, got a swap combo. Just a small 2-swap combo. Let's
Quick
see if
little
that will do
2-swap.
anything.
Mr. Jackos either going to have to do something really big here, or he's going to have to really work his butt off in this next Tetris round.
Yeah, that's still not going to be enough though. No.
Not quite enough to kill.
Rockdan just always keeping that center area open on Puyo, so increases his survivability. He's got a swap combo, Mr. Jackos does. Let's see if he can make this happen. Okay. Oh,
okay.
He's able to get over there.
We're living.
Oh, the line piece. No, he got a little bit frazzled right there. He had the rotation correct, but you know it's so difficult because you can't react fast enough. So by the time that you just rotate it, and I wasn't able to quite get that.
Almost
Yeah.
able to work himself into a position of digging his way out of there.
He like paused for a little bit once he got the right rotation, but it seems like he doubted it. Tried to rotate again. It was too much.
It's really hard when you're in a situation where you can barely see the piece that you're trying to place.
Yeah, that too. You can only see the tip of it.
Quick little 3-chain coming out from Mr. Jackos. Rockdan not having enough to defend all the way.
4 lines of trash. Okay, it looks like he's setting up for a 4 wide. And Rockdan going with the favorite of his, it seems, leaving just 1 column on the right. Not quite able to get a Tetris, but he's going to try to launch some trash because he sees that Mr. Jackos is going for 4 wide again. The downside to 4 wide, you obviously are building up to that bigger reward in the center, but the sides are getting very close to the top. So Rockdan saw that, tried to launch some trash, and that kind of delayed Mr. Jackos from pulling out the 4 wide right away.
Yeah, with the right opportunity, you can send off enough to potentially stop a 4-wide player in those first round or in that first round while they're building their towers, but it's very difficult.
Okay, not quite sure what the plan there is, but he's just gonna go with the 4 wide.
I believe the plan was get 4 wide started, and we had a Z piece slightly misplaced.
Okay, so wasn't able to get too much out of that swap combo, but did get a T-spin single.
These are interesting
These
caps.
boards are looking very weird. It's so weird. Like when you get to the high levels, you can't really tell if they're messing up or they're just like planning 5 steps ahead.
What's happening is Mr. Jackos was given pieces that were not favorable for continuing the 4 wide, so he tried to just kind of stall them out by putting them in places where they'd be the least detrimental, because it kept the hole open for him to continue dropping pieces into the 4 wide hole. But oh no.
Oh, that does not look good.
That T-piece was meant to be slid over at least 1 more block.
Okay, Mr. Jackos just has to keep calm. He still has time. Rockdan's side is not looking that great either, so just gotta keep it slow and steady. Okay. Ooh, it's got the Tetris for the swap.
That is the dirtiest Tetris that we have seen. So high up there.
Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be 5. Okay. You know, Rockdan's got quite a bit of trash, but I'm not too worried. Whenever he's down to Puyo, he still does really well. So.
See, this is the part where like we just suddenly see Rockdan pull off this big chain that just kind of comes out of nowhere.
And it looks like he is keeping that left side on Puyo open, which will help him survive longer as well.
Okay, Mr. Jacko's working his way out of this hole.
Uh-oh. Okay. It's going to save the line piece. Okay. All right.
Bit of a trade for trade here.
The pressure. Mr. Jackos really wants this round. If he doesn't get this round, he's going to have to win 2 rounds in a row to stay in this.
Free chain coming out from Mr. Jackos. It's enough to cover up the parts that were working for Rockdan.
Yeah. Okay, Rockdan able to get some purples there and some reds. So he's gonna live for quite a bit longer. He's only leaving the trash on the right, focusing on the left.
That T-spin really coming in handy there for Mr. Jackos.
Yeah.
And now our Tetris boards are looking pretty even.
Yeah, Mr. Jackos making a nice comeback right here. Okay, not quite a Tetris.
Meanwhile, Rockdan, here it comes. A quick little 2-chain.
And Rockdan's side is looking very clean now. He's got some trash on the right, but it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, he's got the opening where that X is, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, it's not going to kill him. It's just clogging up a bit of his board. That's it.
And now this is Rockdan making use of whatever he had before and just getting those quick little harasses. Meanwhile, Mr. Jacko is with a very dirty Tetris board.
Yeah. He was able to slip that line piece on the right, but wasn't able to clear any actual lines, unfortunately. So here is potentially Mr. Jacko's final round here. So he's got to win 2 in a row. Let's see what he can do.
All right, so we've already kind of moved away from, well, no, okay.
Yeah, okay.
We found the 4 wide.
And Mr. Jacko's shaking his head a little bit. Looks like the square was misplaced.
The square, not quite where he wanted it, but he does get a 4 wide opened up.
Yep.
Okay, he's got another square to kind of fix that. And then he's got a couple of holes that he's going to need to eventually fill up there at the top.
Yeah. He still does have 5 rows if he does want to go for a short 4 wide, but ideally he does want to build that longer. As long as Rockdan doesn't throw too much trash, he can take his time still.
Absolutely. There's potential for Mr. Jackos to set off the 4 wide, especially with this swap combo coming in.
Okay. And looks like Mr. Jack is going to go right for it. He might have saw that he wasn't able to get a super long 4 wide, so he might just want to clear it up, restart.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, so we've lost the 4 wide. He had to use it more for defense rather than offense, which is going to be a slight problem for him because now Rockdan knows that the 4 wide's gone. He's survived the hard part. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yep.
But Mr. Jackos does have those T-spins that Rockdan doesn't have, and those help quite a bit for Mr. Jackos. They allow him to just keep pressure going.
Oh, that was a lot of trash.
Cleaned up a lot of pieces. A nice little 3-4 chain.
Ooh. Okay, Rockdan does have a swap combo to help him out here. Tetris boards are evening up. Mr. Jackos
Back in that kind of sketchy
here.
position.
This could be his final 8 seconds here. He's got to hang on. Got the square.
It's
5
the final
seconds.
countdown.
3 seconds? No, not quite.
Not quite able to get over to Puyo Puyo. And even if he was able to get to Puyo Puyo, Rockdan's board was already all at the bottom. Rockdan had no fuel, but he had plenty of room to survive.
Yep. Mr.
Lots
Jackos
of munching room.
had some fight there, but wasn't able to hold on. And that was a nice 3-1 by Rockdan.
Very nice 3-1 by Rockdan. That's going to put Rockdan back in grand finals against Shram. Shram? Sharm. Sharm.
Sharm, yeah.
Sharm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. I had all the letters. They were just slightly mixed around.
So we are going to get this rematch. Mr. Jackos, that was a good run. Not quite able to make it through grands, but
he did get all the way to losers finals.
Yeah.
From a round 1 loss. Very good. Very good to see. And now we have Sharm coming back up. Waiting around. Had a little bit of time to ponder and think. Meanwhile, Rockdan.
Okay.
You know, let's see if Rockdan has found some strategy to deal with the aggressive Puyo that Charm has.
And you know, the thing is, oftentimes when you're coming in from winning a losers finals match, you're still warmed up, you still got it going. Oftentimes the person who's in winners, you know, they're going in a bit cold, so
Yep.
that might affect Charm. We'll see if Rockdan can capitalize on that.
I mean, unless if she was off playing on a setup,
Yeah.
that's a possibility. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, a lot of players don't, but
Kept my brain going, my Tetris hands ready.
yeah, for sure.
Because like the worst thing when I play is when I start to get going, and then I have to take I have to take time to stop, because when I come back, it's a few rounds of absolute slop.
Yeah, your hands need to be warm for this, or else you're gonna miss input.
Your hands and your brain.
Oh yeah. You know, that is one thing that Rockdan might have to worry about. That was not too long of a break between those sets, so
Okay.
he's got to conserve his mental energy too. He can't get burned out too early.
Yeah, that is one thing that Rockdan will be facing here, is that he's been up a lot, and he's actually had a pretty consistent stage presence today.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's been very consistently playing. We've got a T-spin double out, with another T-spin double already set up on the bottom on Charm's side.
Okay. Rockdan going for some quick clears.
Cleaning up some garbage real quick, very respectable. And he's going to have the ability to set up for other things.
And
But
there's a lot
Charm
of
said,
trash coming,
I don't
though.
want you to do that. I'd rather you not have access to your Puyo.
And you know, that is the thing with quick clears. You won't have anything ready to counter that kind of trash. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You use all of your fuel just kind of getting back into a favorable position, while the other person is just building up bigger things to just stuff you out.
I would
mean,
not be surprised if Charm saw that and capitalized on it.
Oh, I 100% believe it. It's suffocating. It really is. Like, Puyo is a very, in matches like this, it's a very slow suffocation of the other player.
Yeah, this game can be so dynamic. It's not always like breakneck fast-paced. A lot of it's adapting to your opponent, and sometimes that does mean going slower. Charm building up to just a two-swap combo. Rockdan once again leaving his left side open, but all that trash on the right side is blocking his board.
Had a quick
Oh,
5
no.
chain with the Tetris stuff ready for the 5-swap combo.
And just like that, all that trash.
Made use of everything that she had right there, and she said, let's not give him more time on this round. Let's end it now.
That was a very decisive blow to the first round of Grands. So Charm sending a strong statement here.
Charm with the instant T-spin double setup. Rockdan slowly building towards his Tetrises. Again, Charm going with the instant T-spin double, transitioning into the T-spin single for the T-spin double again.
And right away, Rockdan's board is half filled with trash. And doesn't have too clean of a board right now. If he can get an orange, he could even it back out, but
the board's fairly clean. He's Tetris ready,
he
but
does have Tetris.
he's got half a board of garbage.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Charm
Charm
with the
has
quick 3-chain.
Charm has shown that she will take no hesitation to end somebody.
Rockdan did have some trash to counter, but some of that trash might go over to... Nope. Okay, he's able to counter that. But Rockdan still with a half board to clear out.
Charm throwing out a Tetris of her own.
So far, you can see more and more of Rockdan's board is filled with trash. He's got to go a bit faster here. Charm is keeping ahead.
She's got the speed, the technical skill, and just the overall dexterity to do this.
For sure. And there's a 4-swap combo. There's another wave of trash coming.
Big garbage on the Puyo side.
And
Rockdan's going to get enough to
gonna
clear
get
out a
green.
little bit. He's going to need some
It was
reds.
nice that it was in the center. He was able to get a little bit more, but wasn't able to get what he needed. And Charm's going to take a quick 2-0.
We're seeing Rockdan's calculated and methodical nature kind of break down a bit. We saw him shake his head. He's
giving
kind
a
of
bit of a
smiling
chuckle.
now. He might just be accepting this embrace of
Yeah.
death.
Yeah, he's respecting his opponent. Let's see if he goes harder. You know, sometimes players, they just like a challenge, and we'll see if Rockdan's that kind of player. See if he turns it up.
One thing's for sure, he's definitely found his challenger in Charm.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Charm, I believe, was the first seed.
Okay.
Not quite sure on that, but I did see her in the other side. Okay, Charm going for another T-spin setup. Double T-spin. Oh, single, okay. Oh yeah, right.
I love
Single
that
to the
opener.
double.
I love that opener so
Yeah.
much because it's versatile.
She gets it so often too. It's
Well,
like so
it's
consistent.
like I said, there's a consistency here because you know that your first 7 pieces are all unique,
Right, it's not random.
and then you know that the next 7 pieces are a different order but still unique.
Yeah.
So with
That's a
that
good point.
information, you can get pretty consistent setups.
Is there a counter to that? Is there something that Roxanne could think of?
Yeah, I mean he could get his own like quick T-spin double setup. He could Albatross might be quick enough to deal with that. I know it sounds funny, but it's a real thing, I promise.
And Charm is just going for it again. So Rockdan, whatever's happening is not quite working out. He's got to think of something.
Honestly, I think Albatross is actually just a real counter to what Charm does.
Is that what she's doing?
That's not what
there's
she's
a
doing.
possible counter.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Charm's just doing a quick T-spin double, and then you know, she's got that ready.
Right.
Because if she sees an opponent going for like a perfect clear, she can quickly set off the T-spin double and say no perfect clear, get out of here. But because she sees that Rockdan's doing things that aren't that, and he's just building for a slow, quick Tetris, she then instead builds it in to get the extra garbage from a single line clear for a T-spin single, and it immediately has that T-spin double already set up for her on the backup. It's very versatile.
That is a build. That's a great opener.
I love it. It's so versatile. It's fast, and it's consistent.
And I think so far, Charm's the only one we've been seeing get that.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackals might have gotten it once.
Jacko has gone for quick T-spin
Not a
double
back-to-back,
setups,
right.
but he hasn't had the back-to-back.
Yeah.
But it's very cool because like if he, you know, it would not be hard for him to transition into that back-to-back setup because it's really just putting one little extra cap on top of the T-spin double, and it'd be there for him.
Yeah. And Charm timing that small 2-chain on the Puyo side. That trash did go to Rockdan's Tetris side. So it looks like Charm's focusing on Tetris. Let's see if Rockdan can hold on. Okay, doing pretty good so far. Slowly
All right.
clearing that up.
Rockdan has worked himself into the clear for his garbage. Meanwhile, Charm is sticking to. Actually, that was a pretty big chain right there.
Yeah,
That
gonna
was
drop
bigger than
soon.
I thought.
Uh-oh. Okay, Rockdan is able to clear out 3 lines, but there's still a lot of trash coming. Yeah, he's
He's
not
probably
gonna
gonna want
have
to
anything
eat
else.
some garbage here.
Okay.
Take the rest in Tetris if he can. Okay, he was able to survive that specifically through garbage management right there. He ate just a little bit in Puyo. Now he's in Tetris. He didn't die. He's not looking great, but he didn't die immediately.
Yeah. It was a good move to split up the trash. But man, wasn't able to quite do it. All right, we're going to start with Tetris.
This is where Rockdan likes to be, but Charm's also pretty
Yeah.
proficient here. So,
Single to
It's-
double, setting up once again.
yep, she's got that exact same setup. Very consistent with it. She,
Here it is.
you know, if it works, don't change it.
Rockdan was able to fight back with the Tetris, but still not quite as efficient. Okay, so far, it's a little bit evener.
Charm saving that J piece, getting that nice little transition there to just immediately start Rockdan with some garbage. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah.
There.
Charm is getting these really well-timed, like, smaller chains. That's something that's, like, It's definitely hard to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, there's that outline of a T again.
We're getting there. We've got that T-shaped built.
Okay, that was probably misplacement.
I believe the L piece was a misplacement.
Yeah.
It's not going to be too detrimental because it's pretty easy to fix here. That T piece is interesting though.
Yeah. Don't know if that. Okay, you can. Well,
It's
yeah.
it's workable because it can work into another T-spin. It's not going to give a double, but it's workable. It's not horror. It's not the worst. It's.
Rock
But I believe that
band.
one might have been a slight misplacement.
Oh, okay, got a blue. Need some purples. Okay.
Got a
He's gonna hang on
coming
there.
out.
He's got
Four
just
chain.
a little space. Okay, Rockdan starting to get a slight lead on Tetris. As long as Charm doesn't get a T-spin, but I think it's coming. Oh no.
There it is. She worked with that T piece that she
Yeah.
had earlier, got that T-spin in.
And she spun that in quite cleanly.
And now Rockdan's kind of working with nothing here.
Yeah.
He's getting lucky pieces, able to dig just a little bit.
And meanwhile, Charm is gonna build up to something.
He missed the green.
She might unleash a 3-chain right here, and that might be enough. And
Rockdan's
Rockdan
trying to
there it
hold
is.
out, trying to delay as much as he could.
Didn't even need the chain.
He had the green to keep digging. I don't know if digging would have helped him too much.
Yeah.
Because I think Charm had more coming on the way.
Right. You have to not only dig, but you gotta do it quick, because you know, Charm's gonna be building up something else.
Now here's the unfortunate part. Even when you're digging in Puyo, every time you pop Puyos, it delays your ability to build more up.
Right.
Because you have to wait for the chain to pop. And the bigger the chain, the longer it takes. Which, in higher level play, when you have two people who go for big chains, it's almost worse to pop your big chain first.
Right.
Because that gives your opponent more time to build a bigger chain than what you have.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times they just kind of stack them up.
Oh my goodness. Rockdan
Okay.
almost topped out from the beginning there.
Oh no!
Oh
If
no!
only he survived a little bit longer, he could have gotten some Tetrises in there, but
A nice big well built for him,
yeah.
but that also skyrocketed him to the top.
Yeah, Charm was not going to let him have it. Okay, this might be Rockdan's final round. Let's see what he can do. Charm going for the classic.
Charm sticking with the tried and true for her.
And Rockdan also doing the same, leaving one column on the right for Tetris.
Is Tetris coming first? That
Okay.
T-spin single not enough to block all the garbage.
Yeah.
But I don't think she really cares too much because she's got more on the way.
Yep.
Like, she hasn't lost her build, and it only really built her up a little bit.
Yeah. Rockdan was able to strike first that time, so let's
We've
see
got
if he's able to
GTR
build off
already
that
set
lead.
up. 1, 2. We've got the yellow making 3, 4. Got the purples. We're getting bigger here. So purple into yellow into blue into red into purple. All right.
There are
Charm
no greens.
Charm is going to save her Puyo combo.
Okay. Rockdan going for another Tetris.
Rockdan's really going to have to work his way here because Charm has a 6-chain setup right now.
Uh-oh. It might have been, okay.
Is she going to pop it? She is.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a 6-chain
Oh, it's
right
gonna be
here.
a swap combo
And it's a
too.
swap combo. This is going to be huge. And Rockdan has nothing.
Oh, I've never seen 5 trash pieces at the top. How many lines is that? Oh my god,
That's a
there's
lot.
3 more lines.
It's a lot.
Like we said, exponential trash.
Exponential growth.
And
Eventually, you get like a star and a moon, and you get
a
crazy
star?
stuff.
I've never seen that. That is insane.
It's crazy. It's you see it when you start getting to like 7 might be where you get. Okay, I think it's actually like a crown and a moon. So I think 7 is where you get your first crown, and then you get like a moon after that in 8,
Oh,
and then
gosh.
9 is like 2 moons, and
That's
each one of
crazy.
those like when they grow into each other.
Is it
basically.
technically possible to get like 4 moons or like 4 crowns or whatever?
I've seen people
Trying
do,
to work my brain around it.
I've seen people do tasks where they basically build completely up to the top into essentially an all clear, and it's a pretty big combo.
That's insane.
I don't know the practicality of it in competitive play, obviously, but it's a fun mental exercise that I've seen people work with. It's crazy.
Okay,
All
Sean's
right.
going to take a 3-0, and we're going to go on a break with Street Fighter V coming right after. It's a good run by
All right.
Rock Death.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Yep. Thank you.